It's another Whippeal Football Friday here at the Wolverina in Turtle Creek as our Woodland Hills Wolverines head back into Northeast Conference play as they get set to take on the Fox Chapel Foxes here on a beautiful Friday night in October 13th. It's a Friday as well, of course. And our Woodland Hills Wolverines coming off a nice victory last week at a conference against the Highlands Golden Rams on the road, 41-10. Took care of the Golden Rams pretty quickly and were able to cruise through the second half. And Fox Chapel, on the other hand, suffered a tough 61-0 defeat on the road facing the Penn Hills Indians. And tonight they come in for another tough matchup against the Wolverines. Woodland Hills looking for their fifth win in a row. Would be the first time since 2016 since the Wolverines have been able to do that. And so important because it's in conference.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding getting back to Fox Chapel, where, of course, with the 0-7 record, 0-3. But they're a young team and they're rebuilding, so they have a lot of freshmen and sophomores on their squad. So we shall see if they're able to improve tonight against the Woodland Hills team, who is poised to head into the playoffs should they win tonight and maybe win here at home against Pine Ridgeland next week. We won't get too far ahead of ourselves. We have this one, of course, but nonetheless, that's about where we stand, or the Woodland Hills Wolverines stand.
Every single win in conference is so important for the playoffs in 5A. 5A, of course, it's an opinion, but I would say the hardest classification to make the playoffs in. Only 8 of 18 teams making it. There are so many competitive teams year in and year out in 5A. And, of course, we always have to mention Woodland Hills voluntarily playing up from 3A. That makes it even more difficult, being at a slight disadvantage. But you'd love to see the Wolverines taking on the tough competition. And we get back to last week a little bit. Cam Walter, another great game through the air, 173 yards, 9 of 10 passing. And a couple receivers got involved, including Nico Andrews led the way for all receivers, 4 catches for 76 yards. Scoop had a bit of a quiet night with only a couple catches for 30 yards, but did have a nice touchdown. You can always rely on Scoop in the passing game. Amir Brown had a couple grabs in that game as well for almost 50 yards. Had a little bit of a tough start on the touchdown early by the Highlands Golden Rams, but Woodland Hills the rest of the way dominated, and they were able to flex their muscles in that one. And as we talk about good games from last week, again, another solid game from Jacob Miraz. You can't understate how important he's been to this team since he came on last year as a freshman and now as a sophomore, really doing big things to take part in the sophomore-led group. Of course, as we mentioned, big games. Got to talk about Ziggy Moore. 3 touchdowns again. He had one that was on special teams. It was a bit of a weird play off the foot of the punter, Luke Bomboski, and he's like, Moore was able to take it in about 7 yards. And also by Ziggy Moore to be in the right place at the right time, take it in for 6, and that really, really demoralized the Rams at that point.
Yeah, he's been running really hard, Eric, and just knocking guys over as they try to tackle him. He's a guy that you can't arm tackle at all. You got to get him, restrain him, and get him down, because otherwise he'll break the tackle and he will go for more yardage, as he has shown that he can do.
And not only can Ziggy Moore run tough and hard, but he's just a fast runner as well. And he's so versatile. As we talked about, he's in on special teams. He's in defense, on the defense frequently. He's able to rush the passer, but he has so much speed that he's able to go out in coverage if he's needed to as well. Such an integral part of this team. And again, another one of the many sophomores that contribute week in and week out for the Wolverines.
It's true. And by the way, Brandon Jones returned last week, had a good game. So good to see him back in the lineup. He was injured, of course, and he'll, I'm sure, get a number of carries this evening and try to make his presence felt, as I'm sure he will. But yes, for sure, Woodland Hills comes into this game looking for a victory, of course, with a Fox Chapel team that is kind of, let's just say, under the weather a bit. Really, really tough sledding for them.
Yeah, they've had some injuries all season long, and we're in a rebuilding year to begin with, so that's kind of hard when you're a program that's in a conference, especially like this, when you're playing teams like Pine Ridgeland, Woodland Hills, and Penn Hills, and, also the likes of North Hills and Shaler. So Fox Chapel's still looking for their first point in conference play. So they're certainly hoping to get that tonight, and they're looking for more, but I think Woodland Hills is going to have to say something about that as they're coming in, like I said, on a 4-game win streak, looking to make it 5 tonight. As we take a look there, as the captain's getting ready to head out to midfield, Corday Weems, Brandon Jones, Antonio Nash, and Andre Smith, another big-time contributor for the Wolverines, spends most of his time on defense, so valuable there as a linebacker, all over the field, such a playmaker, and he's such a play disruptor as well. He's able to get in there, create turnovers, get after the quarterback, stop the run, whatever he has to do as a senior leader on this team. It's fantastic to see Andre Smith out there every week in and week out.
And on the other side of the ball, Eric, you mentioned we may have a quarterback change, I guess, for Fox Chapel. At least that's what we heard through the grapevine, that there may be a quarterback change coming into this game for the Foxes. We shall see when they come out, although another one was taking the reps with the first line, and I guess we've been given word that that particular quarterback will not start. It looks like it'll be Max Melicky will be the starting quarterback. Am I correct on that?
That is correct.
Okay.
At least that is how to say his name, but we won't really know until we actually see it all play out. But they may use a couple quarterbacks. They have some injuries, as we said, so see how that goes. But Fox Chapel headed out to meet those Wolverines that we spoke about just a minute ago at midfield. Tyrese Samuels and Benjamin DeMonte.
Yeah, Tyrese in sweatpants, so he is a no-go for this evening.
Also Mason Miles and Troy Susnack. As we get set here for this big Northeast Conference game. Woodland Hills finishing off the year with 3 conference games. Of course, tonight against Fox Chapel, next week back at home against Pine Richland, and then on the road to face the Penn Hills Indians. But as you said, Jim, we got to think about one game at a time. Tonight is the most important one at the moment. Wolverines just have to go 1-0 on the week, get a very important conference victory here.
And we actually had a coin toss there. Generally, it's decided earlier, but we saw the referee toss the coin. Now he'll give the indication.
Yeah, usually one of those things that's done pre-game, and they kind of do the staging right before the game, but actually did the kick there, and it looks like Woodland Hills will receive to start this game.
We'll also see whether or not they're going to kick it deep or just try to squib it, as many of the teams have been doing with our dangerous return men back there.
Right, excuse me, Jim. We certainly talked about that last week, as Highlands was committed to not kicking to the dangerous return men of the Wolverines. Now, they didn't have to do it too many times because Highlands was only able to score twice in the game, a touchdown and a field goal. But when they did kick it off, they certainly kept it away from the Wolverines. As you just saw Coach Brian Tarrant looking on there, hoping his team can get their 5th win in a row tonight.
Beautiful night here in Turtle Creek. Very, very little wind. I guess temperature hovering around 60 degrees, I would think, about that. As far as coming up the walkway to the field, it was quite a pleasant night here at the Wolverina.
They do need to reset the clock, as it looks like the clock is at 57 for the game clock. They have to reset the game clock as we're away here, off and running. Kick brought in right around the 25. DJ Dutrell goes right up the center, right around midfield at the Wolverines' own 48-yard line is where they will start. But again, they got to get that game clock fixed over there. So once they do, our scoreboard will update and we'll be set. I'm not sure nobody's noticed it yet. Nonetheless, a nice return by Dutrell, as the Wolverines will have a 1st and 10. Looks like they spotted him at about the 46.
I guess the referee will have to establish how much came off the clock after the kickoff. Yeah, so he guessed 7 seconds.
Just made the fix here. Reset marked at 11:53, and we will get things off and running here. First play from scrimmage for the Wolverines. They're going to open up in a shotgun formation with Brandon Jones and George Hill as the sidecars. They're going to pass on 1st down as Walter takes the snap. He's going to look deep, double coverage, Amir Brown, and that's going to be picked off on play number 1 by the Foxes. Plenty of room to run for Amir Brown. Cam Walter comes up and makes a hit, and major frustration there. And you know he's a little bit frustrated because threw that ball into double coverage, just a tough throw to make there. And Foxes get a big play to start the game. Wolverines defense will have an opportunity to get that ball back right now. That ball looked like it was intercepted by number 81 for the Foxes, Owen Zerenby.
Nice interception, came in front of Woodland Hills receiver and was able to snatch that away. Yes, not a good decision there by Cam, threw into double coverage.
Foxes will start 1st and 10 from their own 41. Little rollout. They're going to look deep on the first play. That's going to go over the top, and it's caught. What a one-handed grab there all the way down near the 20-yard line by number 19 for the Foxes. That's Lincoln Burgess. Pulls in a beautiful catch there. Just a hot start here for Fox Chapel.
Yes, it is. Burgess, a 5'10" junior who doubles as a defensive back. Great catch.
Ball spotted at the 21, just outside the red zone. Nathan Johnson making his first varsity start, and what a way to start for Fox Chapel. Woodland Hills going to look to put a stop to that quickly. They give it to the big man. He's hard to bring down. It takes a few Wolverines that look like Lanier Butler and Andre Smith were able to polish that play off as D'Angelo Hamilton is the ball carrier. He gets a couple there, up inside the 20 to the 18, 3-yard gain.
Yeah, he's a load. He's on the sidelines right now. Came off after that particular blip.
So 2nd down and 7 for the Foxes. A bit of a shocking start for the Wolverines, but they have an opportunity to put an end to this drive very soon. Well, the Wolverines are going to jump offside there, so that's going to give a free 5 yards to Fox Chapel and make it a 2nd and 2.
Yeah,
Woodland Hills just has to, shake off the rust here. Excuse me there, Jim, but a little bit of a rough start there as, like we said, Cam just got a little bit excited, looking deep there and into double coverage. But sometimes you want to try and start the game off with a bang, and you have plenty of time to make up for it. So ball at just at about the 13 now for a 2nd and 2 for Fox Chapel. Hamilton back in the game now.
I stand corrected. That is Nathan Johnson running the offense.
Looks like there may be a timeout here by the Foxes. A little bit of miscommunication there. As we said, Nathan Johnson in his first start tonight for Fox Chapel as a sophomore. That's pretty tough conditions to come in under as a sophomore on the road at the Wolverine and making your first varsity start. But like we said, he made a nice pass there and just a great catch, really. That's what it amounted to for Fox Chapel. But like we said, Woodland Hills now just has to gear down here and take care of business as Fox Chapel in the red zone early. And Woodland Hills defense did a great job last week, looking to follow that up with another good performance here. And we know we're going to see a lot of that running game with D'Angelo Hamilton, but after that pass and catch, you may see the offense open up a little bit more for Fox Chapel. And one thing they do that Woodland Hills hasn't faced a lot of this year is obviously they're running a lot under center, which Woodland Hills sees mostly the shotgun and the pistol formation week in and week out. So this is a little bit different for the defense. So here we go, back to action, 2nd down and 2. Johnson takes the snap, give up the middle to Hamilton. Looks like he's going to get a first down. Moves it up to the 11-yard line. That'll be a fresh set of downs for the Foxes. Looked like Ziggy Moore in on the tackle for the Wolverines.
A lot of ways to go on that 2nd down and 2. They pounded up the middle and get the first down, so now they can still get a first down. They're at the 11 here, that's inside the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it took them a while to tell them to move the sticks there. I think they were waiting to see where they did place the ball. And like you said, Jim, at the 11, it's going to give them the opportunity to get one more first down. So it's not 1st and goal quite yet. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 11.
Wolverines need a big stop here.
Definitely need to get a turnover and downs or force a field goal. If you give to Hamilton again, he's going to go right up the gut. Not much doing there. They're going to give him a yard. So it'll be 2nd and 9 at the 10-yard line for the Foxes. Look like Estes and company in on the tackle for Woodland Hills.
Five, 10, 282.
He's definitely a big boy running the ball there out of the halfback position, basically a fullback. So 2nd down and 9 for the Foxes. This time Jack Vitti is the back. Sends a man in motion. He's going to look. He's going to get that pass knocked down quickly as the Wolverines read that very well. Antonio Nash and Ziggy Moore got into Johnson right away and were able to knock that pass away. Fox is lucky that was not picked off by any Wolverines. And that'll create a 3rd down and 9 now. Big opportunity for the Wolverines to get the stop they desperately need here early in the game.
That's going to be the problem for Johnson. He's going to be under siege, I would guess, most of the night.
They're going to pass now, and Antonio Nash got through there right away before I could even call the play. Antonio Nash, big-time senior leader with a huge sack for the Wolverines, taking Johnson down, pushing him back all the way now to the 19-yard line. So looks like they may attempt a field goal here.
36-yarder. Past history, Fox Chapel has always had some pretty good place kickers.
Another problem with the scoreboard is, if you've noticed, it says 1-0 Woodland Hills. Obviously, that's a mistake. Kick is partially blocked and no good, and no flags on the field, so the Wolverines can take a breath as they're able to avoid disaster there early on. And after the interception, Fox Chapel with one big play, but then the Wolverines defense really steps up big, not letting Fox Chapel move the ball much at all. Get the ball back in the offense's hands, and it'll be placed at the 20-yard line. And that's where the Wolverines will get a second chance here, 1st and 10.
And the thing about that, Eric, is the defense was right in on every occasion where the quarterback stepped back, and then, of course, with the blocked field goal as well. It's going to be a major, major concern for the Foxes tonight, trying to hold off the Wolverines.
Give goes to Jones up the middle, takes it off tackle a little bit there. Nice gain on 1st down for Brandon Jones. Senior running back, about 8 yards, all the way up to the 27-yard line. Put it at the 28, so 8-yard gain for Jones.
Jones coming in for this game, 42 carries for a 4-yard average of 168 total yards. But again, he has been on the shelf for several starts.
So Jones again on the carry, 1st down Wolverines. Tough to bring down, and as he gets up around the 40-yard line for a 1st down run for Woodland Hills. Looks like that's where they'll place it.
Jones, another back, tough to bring down. Wrap him up high. And they weren't even able to bring him down. Actually, they pushed him out of bounds there at the 40.
So about 7.5 minutes remaining in this 1st quarter. Pistol formation with a bunch to the left. Toss out to Jones. He's got some running room, breaks a tackle. Muscling ahead to about the 48-yard line for an 8-yard gain.
Slashing his way between the blockers and getting away with 8 yards on 1st down. Always certainly a good situation to be in, a 2nd and 2 for Cam Walter.
Looked like Mason Miles on the tackle for the Foxes.
Little quick pitch back there, Eric, and Jones did the rest.
2nd and 2. Give up the middle of Jones. Some early penetration there by the Foxes. And it looks like the spot is going to put him just shy of the 1st down marker. So it'll be 3rd down in inches for the Wolverines. Actually, they're going to put it a little further back than where the initial spot was. So pretty much 3rd and 1 now. Shotgun formation for the Wolverines.
Let's see what Cam pulls out of Coach Terrence's bag of tricks here on 3rd and 1.
Fox Chapel certainly ready for the run. Woodland Hills is going to pass it. Cam Walter has nowhere to go, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. So interesting decision there not to run the ball on 3rd and 1, but Cam Walter facing that penetration. You know, Fox Chapel was looking run all the way. They had the box stacked. So when they saw the Wolverines weren't running the ball, they just came full force with a blitz, and it worked to perfection for the Foxes. Unfortunately for the Wolverines, they're going to be forced to punt. So a little bit of a shaky start here for the Wolverines.
It is. I'd look for a fake here with the ball at the 45.
So it'll be 4th and 5. Jacob Mraz set to punt for the Wolverines. Smith is the up man. They will punt it away. Mraz, not his best punt there, as that's going to be sky high, and it's going to take a Fox's bounce and a net of just about 3 yards at the end of things. So, again, just a rough start here for Woodland Hills. Not what you want to see at all, but plenty of time to make up for it here as Fox Chapel's offense will come back on the field for a 1st and 10 inside Woodland Hills territory.
Well, playing some inspired football here. Foxes. 5:23 to go in the 1st. They've been inside the 20, but a blocked field goal. They take over here.
So Johnson under center, brings a man in motion, going to give it to him, and he's going to have plenty of running room over the left side. That's going to be a first down run. Brandon Jones on the tackle for the Wolverines, but a big run there by Adrian Valdez. Puts Fox Chapel in great field position now, on about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, and the Foxes with a little giddy up in their step coming to the sidelines. They're saying, okay, we're moving the ball just fine. We played great defense on that last series.
Just nobody there on the edge for Woodland Hills on that play to stop Valdez. 1st and 10. This time they go up the gut to Hamilton. He's got a couple yards initially. So he's able to get it to the 31 for a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Foxes.
Yeah, very sluggish start for the Wolverines here this evening.
Yeah, that has been a bit of a bugaboo for the Wolverines so far. Last week, as we talked about, they took care of business quickly after just one bad play on defense. Shaler, of course, had a bit of a rough start, but then about 6 or 7 minutes into the game, they completely took over. So hopefully the same thing tonight, but we're approaching 4 minutes left in the first quarter. So still 0-0 scores. Johnson rolls out, getting rushed quickly by Butler. Nobody there. That should definitely be an intentional grounding, but refs are going to say no. So that's going to go as 3rd down now, as Johnson was rushed quickly. Was able to get the ball away, but I don't think that 55 was an eligible receiver. He may have been, though. No, 55 was the guard there, it looks, and when he pulled out, that's who it looked like he was trying to throw it to, and he's ineligible. So no intentional grounding call, but the Wolverines still forced a 3rd down and 8 yards, ball at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like intentional grounding for sure. Act 55 was not eligible, and the ball
was still in the pocket too, and I don't even know if that ball made the line of scrimmage. Timeout going to be called here by the Foxes. Dave Leisure moves over to have a talk at this early, crucial 3rd down for the Foxes. 4:08 remaining in the first quarter. 0-0 your score here tonight. The Hills looking for another big stop on defense after the last set of downs forced that field goal, and it was partially blocked after the nice sack by the senior leader Antonio Nash to knife through, quickly take down Johnson. We take a look at the Woodland Hills Band. It's annual band night tonight. 102 students from grades 5th to 8th grade joining the high school marching band, so over 200 students total in the band tonight. It's a wonderful night year in and year out for the marching band. As we get set for this big 3rd down. Wolverines defense looking for another stop.
Of course, Dave Leisure in his first year as head coach, replacing former coach Tommy Loughran.
Of course, Tom Loughran had a long, rich history at Fox Chapel. Big shoes to fill for Dave Leisure. Foxes roll out. He's got room to run here. He's going to do a late pitch, but a beautiful job by Brandon Jones to pursue Lanier Butler as well. Forced the pitch, and Brandon Jones was there to take it down. Just executed so well on defense by the Wolverines there. Did not get faked out. Let Johnson have a little bit of time to roll out and run, but really they were there to swallow it up.
Yeah, Jones played that beautifully. Didn't take the inside pitch.
Cooper Hendren was the ball carrier there. They get it to the 29-yard line. It'll be 4th and about 6. As Fox Chapel will either try to draw the Wolverines offside or they'll just take the gamble. And they're going to gamble. They're going to look out quickly on the quick slant, but just overthrown by Johnson there. I like the risk in a game like this where you're already 0-3 in conference in Fox Chapel, just taking any chance you get. They've had some opportunities already, a little bit of luck going their way, a little bit of a sluggish start for the Wolverines. But again, the defense steps up when they had to. Nice job by the Woodland Hills defense there, forcing that 4th down, forcing a bad throw on the quick penetration, getting the ball back in the offense hands.
Serious pressure there by the Wolverines, caused him to get rid of the ball before he wanted to.
Ball carrier Ziggy Moore this time over the right side. Lots of running room. Stiff arms out. Makes his way up over the 40-yard line to the 42 for a nice 12-yard run for the Wolverines.
Now Moore turned on the Jets once he got around the corner, Eric, and stayed right along the sidelines, as you'll see on the replay. Was able to make a nice run out of it.
A nice mixed bag of ends to drive so far. An interception, obviously, by Walter on the first play of the game. Then Wolverines blocked a field goal. Wolverines punted on their second drive, and then a turnover on down. So we've kind of had everything so far here early. Bit of a strange start, but the Wolverines looking to wipe that away quickly here, try to get in the end zone. About 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Handoff goes up the middle to Moore. Again, just showing his hardcore running there as he gets up to the first down marker at the 48-yard line of Fox Chapel, and that'll move the chains again.
Yeah, Moore averaging about 7 yards per carry coming in, Eric, but carried the ball 50 times for 343 yards, and he makes his presence known. He does not shy away from contact.
So the Wolverines inside Fox Chapel territory now. 4 wide receivers as Walter's in the shotgun with Ziggy Moore as the ball carrier. Gives it to Moore on the inside handoff again. Moore's got running room. Gets past 2 Foxes. Up out of bounds for another first down for Woodland Hills.
Another +10 for Ziggy Moore. He's going to take a little breather here as we await the change to be moved.
Ball's placed at the 37-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 Woodland Hills. Another positive run by Moore. Just has a lot of room off the edge. You see Pierce Cannon, the right tackle, just completely sealing off that edge, getting the block on Isaac Jacobs, making that big hole for Moore. Power pistol formation. Walter, give to Jones, now the back. Cuts it to the right, back up inside. Mason Miles there on the tackle, but not before. About a 9-yard gain for Brandon Jones. Inside the 30-yard line now, the Wolverines have the ball. Offense is humming now.
Yeah, Jones, another one who's built like a fire plug and is able to shrug off tacklers as he has been doing for the last couple of years here. Has had some injuries over the last few years, but comes back strong here for his senior encounter.
2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. 2nd down and about 2. Jones gets the pitch, knocks down a Fox, and up to about the 24-yard line. That'll be a first down run for Woodland Hills as they will move the chains yet again.
Already, I think, some tired Foxes out there. Hands on hips and maybe looking for a breather or two, but Woodland Hills will continue to pound the ball. Haven't heard anything from Scoop yet.
Play clock down to 10. Walter is in the shotgun formation. Brandon Jones the back to his right. Give to Jones up the middle. Breaks a tackle. Nice job on that stiff arm. Again, staying on his feet. So hard to bring down, but eventually Foxes are able to get him down there. But not before a nice little gain there by Brandon Jones, about 8 yards, as the Wolverines work their way into the red zone. But Jones comes up with a bit of a limp. That's certainly not what you want to see, as it looked like the tackle was a bit awkward there. You saw him fighting off one Fox, and then that awkward tackle there as Lincoln Burgess held on for dear life to not let Brandon Jones break away, and in the process kind of looked like he maybe re-aggravated that injury, and that's just absolutely not what you want to see from one of the biggest senior leaders on this team who, like you said, Jim, has fought injuries his whole career at Woodland Hills, and only hope that Brandon Jones is able to shake that off.
Yeah, we want to see number 5 back in the game. Hope just be able to shake it off on the sidelines and get a little TLC over there, and possibility for Brandon to return. You know he wants to come into the game. There's no question about that.
Ball at the 17. That's where Woodland Hills has a 2nd down and 2. So the give goes to Moore this time. Up the gut. Big hole opens by the offensive line, and Ziggy Moore runs right through it, all the way down to about the 8-yard line for another first down. It'll be 1st and goal, Woodland Hills at the 8.
Yeah, this whole series of downs, Brandon Jones, Ziggy Moore, just alternating carries and making Fox Chapel's defense pay. They look a little do the Foxes. Trying to get some instructions.
Pistol formation now for Cam Walter. Give goes to Ziggy Moore. He's got some running room, gets it up just near the goal line, but they're going to stop him short at about the 1 yard line. So nice run on first down and goal. So it'll be second and goal at the 1 for Woodland Hills. And I think I can guess what's probably coming here. And why not? Because the Wolverines have really been running the ball so well here. You know, started the game off trying to go through the air, and of course, the Foxes had good coverage and were able to pick off that opening pass. But since then, Woodland Hills has really just committed to the run, and why not? They've been doing such a nice job running the ball on this drive and looking to cap it off with 6 points right here.
As the first quarter winds down.
Walter, pistol formation. Ziggy Moore into the end zone for 6. Woodland Hills takes a 6-0 lead, and with 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter, they'll look to make it 7-0. Jacob Mirage trotting out for the extra point on the nice 1 yard run by Zykeer Moore.
And why not, Eric? He was one of 2 backs, the other being Brandon Jones, who just was able to grind it out all the way down the field. And there's just no tackling Ziggy Moore right there.
Yeah, nice block there, too, by Simeon McCoy. The wide receiver getting involved is Jacob Mirage, ready to kick the extra point out of the hold from Scoop Smith. Mirage, kick is up and good. So Woodland Hills makes it 7-0 here. 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter. A little bit of a tough start for the Wolverines, but they do a nice job on defense to stop 2 drives by the Foxes after the interception and then after the Wolverines punt and get the ball back in the offense's hands. And offensive coordinator Cam Sadler just showcasing that powerful running game that the Wolverines have been able to put on display the last few weeks with Zykeer Moore and Brandon Jones. Get it into the end zone for a 7-0 lead, drawing closer to the end of the first quarter.
Maybe time enough for the kickoff in one play as we have the change of positions for the Woodland Hills Wolverines will be on defense. Of course, the clock will start when the ball is touched.
I'm going to attribute the slow start to the fact that it's Friday the 13th.
Okay, I'll go for that.
And the fact that I think the slow start hopefully is gone as the Wolverines really already started to show their dominance with that nice drive there to get into the end zone and make it 7-0. So Jacob Mirage is set to kick it away for the Wolverines. So it looks like Lincoln Burgess back to receive for the Foxes. Hard to tell who else is back there. Might be Cooper Hendren for the Foxes as well. Mirage gets it away, a low liner. He's going to take a bounce right into the hands of Burgess. Gets it up to about the 25-yard line where he'll meet several Wolverines. Look like Jaden Lindsay and Stephen Fulwiley in there on the tackle.
Right at the 25. A low liner, a bounce, and a courteous bounce there for the receiver. So this will be the final play, I'm sure, of the first quarter, 4 seconds remaining. I wonder whether any of that momentum they had coming in is going to carry over here for the Foxes after being scored upon.
1st and 10 for Fox Chapel, ball at the 25-yard line. Running. There's running back cuts up inside for about a 6-yard gain there. Really did a nice job of just running, getting out to the edge there and making a cut when he had to. That was Valdez on the carry for 6 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 4 when we get things back up and running in the second quarter here. So Woodland Hills up 7-0 early right now. Offense did a nice job of getting down the field, using that strong running game behind that offensive line, led by seniors Pierce Cannon and Antonio Nash, and Dom Wilson at center. Marcus Williams. Nasir Neal also in there for the Wolverines on that offensive line. They were able to help out their running backs, Brandon Jones and Zykeer Moore, to get down there for 6. And then the extra point made it 7-0. As this being the 3rd drive for the Foxes. First time, obviously, they got the ball back on the first play of the game on the interception thrown by Cam Walter. Fox Chapel on one big play got into Woodland Hills territory, but then kind of hit a wall. Wolverines defense did a nice job to force the field goal. They blocked it. Woodland Hills had to punt after that on their ensuing drive, but Fox Chapel was able to move the ball a little bit on their next drive, but ended up turning the ball over on downs on that 4th down attempt. And then Woodland Hills offense took over, driving all the way down the field to get a nice 1-yard touchdown run by Zykeer Moore to make it 7-0. Ball at the 31-yard line for the 2nd down for the Foxes in their own territory.
So they'll be going Turtle Creek to Monroeville here as they set up.
Second down and 4 for the Foxes. Sends a man in motion. Nico Andrews adjusts. The give goes up the middle, and Woodland Hills stacks that up quickly to force no gain there. So it'll be 3rd down and 4.
Yes, that's the problem, Eric. Woodland Hills is getting in there so quickly that you might say, well, drop back and throw a ball. But they've been just pouring on through, even on the pass plays. And that doesn't appear to be the way to go either. So they'll probably just stay on the ground, maybe take a shot here with something not too complicated, maybe a screen or something of that nature.
All right, so Fox Chapel, 3rd down and 4. Johnson rolls out. Good coverage by the Wolverines, but look who slipped out there on the left side. Cooper Hendren wide open there. I didn't even see him here on the near side, and that works to perfection for Fox Chapel. They find that little hole there in the zone for the Wolverines and get a big 1st down.
I think it was a mix-up in coverage there, Eric. Both of the backs, Woodland Hills, went inside, and that left them wide open.
And just slipped out unnoticed at Hendren there and gets the 1st down for Fox Chapel. Ball at their own 41 now, where they'll have 1st down and 10. $11:10 remaining until the half. Fox Chapel. Play clock under 5. And the Wolverines jump offside. It's a tough break there. You never see Antonio Nash do that. Just got a little bit excited there as he jumps into the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty on the Wolverines. We'll move it up to the 46.
Oh, that changes the complexion of this call.
Certainly when you start with a 1st down and 5, you can open things up, maybe go play action.
Woodland Hills needs a minus play here.
Also a tough penalty to take because that play clock was down to 3 seconds. A little bit of trickery here by the Foxes. Valdez getting it up to midfield, and looks like that's where they'll place it, so it's going to be short of a 1st down, but about 2nd and a half yard here for the Foxes on the run by Valdez. Give to Hendren first, and then Hendren gives it inside to Valdez. Valdez muscling his way forward to get it inside Woodland Hills territory now. Johnson is going to look deep. He's getting brushed by Lanier Butler. Butler is going to take him down, but they're going to throw a flag. I'm not sure if it's a face mask or what. It may have been what it was. It may have just been incidental if it was. I would think it was certainly incidental if it's going to be a face mask. Or not. Fox Chapel's moving back. No, excuse me. I got a little too excited there. Let's see if we have a replay of that one to see. And they're not going to call it incidental either. They're going to do the full 15 here. So Fox Chapel getting a lot of breaks here early on. Woodland Hills is going to have to adjust. As you saw Lanier Butler get in there quickly and just make a great tackle. His right hand was up close by the face mask, so he certainly could have got a bit of it. Just a shame that it couldn't have been the 5-yard incidental kind. But
yeah, quarterback Johnson came off kind of refixing, adjusting his helmet.
1st down, ball at the 40-yard line. Fox Chapel. Valdez goes in motion. Give up the gut to Hamilton. He's going to get a few yards right up the middle. Nice chunky yardage on 1st down for the Foxes. Up to the 35. 5-yard gain there. We'll make a 2nd down and 5 for Fox Chapel on the run by Hamilton.
Yeah, he's got pretty nifty feet for a big guy, doesn't he, Eric? He was able to kind of little couple of stutter steps on that up the middle play, and gets him in a good position here, 2nd and 5.
Give to Valdez, a play they've had success with. And again, Valdez is able to muscle his way up just outside the 30-yard line. We'll place it at the 32, so it's going to make a 3rd down here, a short 2 for Fox Chapel.
And needless to say, it will be 4-down territory, so unless there's a big loss or a big penalty, even if the Wolverines do stop them here, they'll have to muscle up for 4th down.
Yeah, after we saw Fox Chapel go for it on about a 4th and 6, you know they're going to want to go for it if they don't get it right here. Valdez goes in motion. Johnson, the give to Hamilton. He's going to muscle his way up. 1st down, Foxes with the forward progress. We'll get them inside the 30 at the 29-yard line is where they'll have a 1st and 10. You know, sometimes when you have to make adjustments, it ends up working out in your favor. We talked about how Fox Chapel has had some injuries. They were playing a lot with Maloki at quarterback, Max Maloki, but they made the change to Johnson and let Maloki play strictly on defense. And now it's working, this running game with Hamilton and mixing in some edge running with Valdez and Hendren and letting Johnson air it out every so often. Wolverines defense having a tough time adjusting at the moment. So 1st down. Handoff goes to Valdez. Running room on the left side. Another nice run, and there's going to be another flag on the near side here. I'm not sure what that could have been, as it was right by the sideline, right near the end of the play. No, refs are pointing at Woodland Hills, unfortunately.
I think it's going to be a personal foul for a late hit.
It didn't look like it.
Another
could have been
face mask.
a late. Oh, face mask. Yeah, I was going to say, when he threw the flag, it really weren't even out of bounds yet. So another face mask is going to go against Woodland Hills. And, you know, when you're in a game against a team that you're much better than, it's just things you can't do. Can't commit penalties like that. But, and well, again, it's kind of very, very incidental and minor there. Ziggy Moore kind of put his hand out.
I'm not even sure he grabbed the face mask.
Which it looks like they may have done the 5 yards incidental, which is certainly the right call. So
looked like he had the side of the ear flap of the helmet, actually.
Right. From our angle, it was really impossible to see if he did graze it, but if he did, it was just 5 yards, which looks like they did call the 5-yard incidental. So again, Woodland Hills back in conference play, and that's how they'll finish the season here tonight against the Foxes. Next week, right back here at the Wolverina for a big one against the Pine Richland Rams, team that just kept coming off a big, huge victory over one of the best teams in the state in Pittsburgh Central Catholic last week. And then to end the season, our Wolverines will go on the road to face the Penn Hills Indians, and Woodland Hills Football Network will be here for all of that action in the regular season.
And Pine Richland went basically with a run game last week against Central Catholic, did they not, Eric?
Yeah, running back Ethan Pillar, 56 carries in that game was
That's
a record.
amazing.
And something you just do not see very often, and especially against a team like Central Catholic that always has such a tough run defense. But if there's a team that's had Central's number over these last 10 years or so, it's Pine. Know how to gear up for them. Back when Eric Kasparovich was the coach, now Coach John Ladon, they've always been ready for Central, and they went to the ground, and it paid off. Over 300 yards rushing total for Pine Richland. So now Fox Chapel with a 1st down. Johnson under center. Give to Hamilton, but this time Woodland Hills is in there fast, making a tackle in the backfield. As we approach 8 minutes until the half, and I think the Wolverines are playing a little bit more inspired now. As you could see, Coach Tarrant was visibly not very happy as he came out to address his teammates, getting them fired up and motivated for this one. Is, like we said, only 7-0 here against a team that hasn't scored a point in conference yet. So Woodland Hills still keeping them off the board. That was placed at the 20-yard line now. 2nd down and 11. Give goes to Valdez. He's got room over the left side. Plenty of room all the way down just about the 12-yard line. Just able to string it out, and the Wolverines unable to get out of the box. And another flag comes in. It looks like it's going to be another late hit, or it's going to be another personal foul. This time maybe a late hit or a taunt by possibly George Hill. He looks like the guilty party. And you can't aid the other team here and let them get down closer and closer with free yards. And that's what the Wolverines are doing at the moment. So it's probably going to be, depending on where it is, maybe a half the distance.
Dead ball after the play.
Yep, this is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct. conduct. So half the distance moves Fox Chapel up yet again. Tough series of events here for the Wolverines.
Yeah, you can't give them any confidence, and this is exactly what's happening with the Woodland Hills defense. You're giving away yards and making a team that doesn't have a victory this year and very few yards per game march down the field on you with the penalties and the tough running.
7:25 remaining in the half. Johnson under center. Going to go with the give to Hamilton, who's going to fight his way forward. And he's going to get a couple there inside the 5, where they'll put him at remains to be seen. Maybe at the 3, depending on the run, or on the spot. Looks like that's where they will place it. So 2nd down and goal for the Foxes.
Yeah, they definitely have a little giddy up in their step, do they not, Eric? They've had a good series here, aided by some penalties, and they are right in the shadow of the goal line.
Foxes. Give goes to Valdez, the play that's had success. He's going to work his way in for 6. Touchdown, Fox Chapel. So that'll make it 7-6 with 6:40 remaining in the second quarter. On the 3-yard run by Valdez. Extra point attempt here for Fox Chapel as they look to tie this game up. Kellen Blyer on the extra point attempt. Snap is good, down. Kick is up and good. So 7-7 your score here with 6:40 remaining in the second quarter. A bit of a shocker as Fox Chapel is hanging around. Woodland Hills just can't quite get their footing yet. They've made some big stops early in the game on defense, but that drive really wasn't about not making stops. It was about major penalties. Couple face masks, and then the taunting penalty really helped Fox Chapel there. And it's something that I'm sure the coaches are going to address on the sideline. They cannot give the Foxes free yards.
Yeah, they have to be more disciplined out there. They're getting a little discouraged, but the discouragement really is coming from the defense. They're causing their own downfall here on this particular drive. Yeah, they need a talk by Coach Tarrant. The other assistant coaches say, guys, settle down a little bit here. Let's get our plans together. Take a deep breath. They're going to get the kickoff, so that certainly will help as a return men if indeed they kick to the return men.
Yeah, well, the only bad thing about, we talked about how the Wolverines were able to dominate their way down the field on that last drive, but the only bad thing about something like that is it takes a lot of time off the clock.
Yes.
If you don't break any runs, you're just killing clock and not in your favor in a game where, yes, you're tied, but this is a game where Woodland Hills certainly expected to be on top big with a team like Fox Chapel, who hadn't scored a point since September 8th. So that being their first touchdown in many weeks. But the Wolverines still had plenty of time to turn things around back in their favor here. As Blyer will get set to kick it away, and Wolverines just have to be ready for anything here. You're Fox Chapel. You're not going to make the playoffs. You're eliminated, so you kind of have to expect anything from them. They could try and pull an onside kick. You never know what they're going to do, and that's exactly what they do. They do the onside kick, but nice job. I'm not sure if that was Taylor Reed or not, but he got on top of it, did a wonderful job. Reed again. Taylor Reed has done a great job the last couple weeks of jumping on onside kicks by a Hills 2 weeks in a row was unfortunately the victim of giving up onside kicks, but Reed has really done a great job. I'm sure that's been a point of emphasis in practice for the Wolverines, and they show up there. Nice job by Taylor Reed as Fox Chapel. Like we said, they have nothing to lose. They're not going to make the playoffs, so why not try anything? And that's what Coach Dave Leger does, but it doesn't work this time as Woodland Hills adapts. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Cam Walter in the shotgun. Give goes to Zykir Moore. They close in quickly, though, but still a nice gain of 3 yards on 1st down for Moore.
At first, looked like the hole had opened up, Eric, and Zykir was going to burst through there, but it closed up rather quickly for a 3-yard gain. Had the appearance of what could have been a lot more right there, but coming across to make the tackle. Number 45.
Mason Miles on the tackle there.
Foxes.
Power pistol formation now for Cam Walter, Jaden Estes, and Zykeer Moore in the backfield. Moore gets the carry, but again, Fox Chapel does a nice job of not letting him go for extra there. But Moore, still a nice positive carry, will make it a 3rd down and 2. A little bit of pushing and shoving on the far side, but a good job by the whistle as it looked like it was going both ways there at the end of the play. So it'll be a 3rd down and 2, a big 3rd down here for Woodland Hills.
I think it is, Eric, early in the game. You've got to demonstrate your authority here and get this 1st down. Otherwise, you're in a maybe not situation with the ball just across midfield.
5 seconds on the play clock. Walter in the shotgun. Takes the snap, give to Moore. Zykeer Moore able to get the yardage he needs. Brought down by several Foxes there who just have to fight to bring him down. Gets it up to about the 41-yard line. Nice run by Moore. Fresh set of downs for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Luca Poli the first to come in and make the stop, or at least slow him up, but he's able to use his momentum and get that 1st down yardage.
See if the Wolverines decide to go back to the air. You know, I know they're a bit, maybe I shouldn't say scared to do it, but a little bit hesitant to go to the air after the interception and then the sack. Walter has not been able to air it out because the running game has been working so well, but you got to get those other offensive threats involved. And that's exactly what they do on 1st down. Walter's going to look deep. He's got nowhere to go. He's going to have to try and run it. He tries to go back up the middle, and he breaks free from a couple tacklers there as they try for the arm tackles. Walter making something happen, but then he fumbles, and the ball gets free at about the 31-yard line, and it looks like Fox Chapel was first to jump on it. So Cam Walter did a great job of breaking through tackles, tried to make a play, but it looked like Fox Chapel eventually was able to punch it free, but it looked like Woodland Hills may have jumped on it, and they did.
Haven't gotten a signal yet. Now there it is. Sorry, Eric, to jump in there on you.
It's okay. You didn't see the Foxes jumping up and down saying they had it, so usually that's the key, that when that doesn't happen, usually the offense is able to get back on it, but my goodness, a bit of a scare there. What an athletic play there by Cam Walter. It looked like he was going to be brought down by a few Foxes. Again, trying for the arm tackling. Cam Walter's too strong for that there. He's able to make a few Foxes miss. Mason Miles there, it gets away from, but then it looked like Hamilton was able to break that ball free from Walter, but Woodland Hills jumps back on it, creates a 2nd and 1 now at the 32. Give goes to Moore. 1st down carry for Zykeer Moore. Up over the 30-yard line now. 4 minutes remaining until the half. A 7-7 game, and I don't think anybody would have believed it if you would have said this game was tied almost at halftime. But as we said, Woodland Hills has plenty of time to adjust still, and they need to get this ball in the end zone right here. So ball at the 28. Pistol formation now. Zykeer Moore gets the handoff, has a big hole, and he's able to take it down. About 7-yard gain, right outside the red zone there at the 21 is where he'll end up. So it'll be a 2nd down with the clock under 3.5 minutes. And like we said, when you play this style of game, it's really not good that you're not going to have a lot of time to put more points on the board, but Woodland Hills still moving the ball effectively. So it'll be 2nd down.
A slow tackle there by Caleb Shirk. Able to stop Zykeer Moore's momentum. That doesn't happen very often, but they upper and lower on the tackle.
Walter has rushed quickly, and he's going to get that ball away, but Corday Weems went the wrong way. It looked like could have been certainly the correct route that he was running, but Walter just had to throw the ball away in desperation there. So it's going to be 3rd down here. And, you know, one thing you got to mention, I think, is if you're going to have a rough game, this is probably the game to have it. So the Wolverines have 2 big ones up ahead against Pine Richland and Penn Hills. But right now, this is the scare that they're dealing with here as Fox Chapel doesn't come in looking like an 0-7 team. They are playing tough tonight, and Wolverines are seeing all of it. 3rd down. In 4-down territory are the Wolverines. Power pistol formation. Give goes to Zykeer Moore. He's got the hole. 1st down inside the 15-yard line for Woodland Hills, all the way up to the 12-yard line.
Just a power run by Moore. Hits the hole very quickly and is able to carry a couple of tacklers with him and is able to pick up the first down. So that is a very nice third down play.
So first down and 10, ball at the 12. Wolverines can still get a first down. Wolverines not in any rush, just trying to do things correctly and effectively, work their way into the end zone. Going to throw deep into the corner there. Ball's going to fall short, incomplete, as he went for Corday Weems on the far sideline. And the coverage for the Foxes was Owen Zaremby.
Very nice coverage. That play had incomplete written all over it. Although came back and almost was able to make the catch. I think the ball was off the defender's arm there. He stuck it out and was able to deflect it.
So a rare stoppage of the clock, 2:19. Ball goes to Zykeer Moore up the middle. He's able to break through a few Foxes into the end zone for the 12-yard run for the Wolverines as they get back up on the board to make it 13-7 on the Foxes.
Yeah, not much strategy there. Just keep giving it to Moore. Keeps pounding it down the field and into the end zone, as he has done on many occasions this year since he's been in the lineup more consistently.
We have an injury on the field. Looks like Mason Miles for the Foxes. Getting attended to, but in the meantime, 2:11 remaining until the half, and the Wolverines get a much-needed touchdown there. They've been tested in many ways tonight, coming in and facing a team, like we said, 0-7, 0-3 in conference, hadn't scored a point since September 8th, but they really came to play tonight with injuries, and they've just been playing inspired football, getting a lot of breaks with some face masking, but there are things that Woodland Hills is doing that they just have to avoid. And it looks like Wolverines will come out as Mason Miles, under his own power, is walking off the field, so we always like to see that. It's Jacob Mraz heading out with his field goal unit to attempt the extra point. Mraz with the extra point. Up and good. So that makes it 14-7 for your Wolverines here. 2:11 remaining until the half, and now see how the Wolverines defense comes out. A tough series last time they were out on the field, but they will look to redeem themselves on this next drive and possibly create a turnover and maybe get the ball back in the offense's hands for maybe a quick touchdown before the end of the half.
Yes, there's enough time, 2 minutes and 11 seconds. The problem is, Fox Chapel is most likely going to run the ball, and at 2 minutes and 11 seconds will evaporate very quickly unless the Wolverines decide to call a timeout.
I believe they have 2 remaining, so could see Coach Tarrant be aggressive here, and if they can get a big stop on first down, maybe make force a 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 8. Wolverines could call that for a second timeout and put the Foxes in a tough position. As Jacob Mraz is set to kick it away. Wolverines have been playing so well the last few weeks that, sometimes things like this can happen. The team can sneak up on you and give you a bit of a scare here early. As Mraz is set to kick it away, a low liner. Bounces off the face mask, but Burgess is able to pull it in very well as he's going to get taken down at the 20-yard line. Comes from the far sideline. You would think it would be on the Foxes with a holding or a block in the back, but we will wait and see what the refs say. As there haven't been many penalties on the Foxes tonight, they've been playing a pretty clean game. As a Wolverine is down on the far side, right at the 20-yard line. Might be Isaiah Ramsey. It looks like number 9. He's going to get attended to there. 2:04 remaining. Ball is placed right at the 20-yard line. So it is going to be a holding on Fox Chapel. So it should back them up to about the 10-yard line, depending on where that final spot was.
Only 7 seconds ran off the clock on that one, and so with the ball at the 10-yard line, with Woodland Hills having a couple of timeouts in their pocket.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Wolverines, be aggressive here and maybe get a big, as Isaiah Ramsey makes his way off the field under his own power. As I was saying, like to see the Wolverines be aggressive here and maybe get a big stop on first down. Use that timeout, force the Foxes to punt from the shadow of their own end zone. That would be the ideal situation, or just create a turnover, which the Wolverines have done so well the last few weeks. So first down and 10 for the Foxes. Ball at their own 10-yard line. Johnson's under center. Give goes to Valdez. He's going to get 4 yards there, so nice chunk of yardage there for the Foxes on first down to make it 2nd and 6. And looks like that Coach Tarrant's going to hold on to those timeouts for now after the positive run on first down.
Landon Akins came up nicely and was a helper on the tackle along with number 44, Jade Estes.
So 2nd and 6 now for Fox Chapel. Minute and a half remaining until the half. Hendren goes in motion. Looks like a flag on the play here. Didn't see anybody from Woodland Hills jump into the neutral zone, so it probably a false start. Indeed it is, so that'll back up the Foxes, to the 9-yard line, where they will have a 2nd down now and 11.
That helps the Wolverines' cause.
Clock does start up again, though, as we know, so that's could play a factor here, and as if in terms of the Wolverines, if they can get the ball back. So this play is big to see if Coach Tarrant wants to use one of those timeouts. Clock stopped again. Interesting. Johnson's going to roll out. Nobody there. He's going to throw a prayer up. Landon Akins, a nice play to knock that ball away. And Prince Tarrant was also there on the coverage. Nice job by the Wolverines to knock that ball away. Akins there was just tracking that all the way on the prayer thrown up by Johnson. So that stops the clock as well, so it's going to make a 3rd and 11 here.
Nicely thrown ball. That had completion all over it.
Yeah, if Akins doesn't make that play, that may have sat right in the belly.
Yes, it
the intended receiver, because Tarrant had good coverage, but it may have got there. It was a nice throw. So 3rd down and 11. Carry goes to Valdez. He's going to bring it up over the 10-yard line, and there's going to be a late flag on the play. Not really late, but right at the end of the play. It was kind of a peculiar area.
If it's against Fox Chapel, you got to decline it.
I would think if it's on the Foxes, you decline it. It is indeed holding on Fox Chapel. I think that at this point, Coach Tarrant may opt to decline it and take his 2nd timeout.
Yeah, clock will restart.
It would be 4th down on the
offense. Half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
So it looks like Coach Tarrant's going to take that penalty and back them up to about the 5-yard line. So it gives them an opportunity here on 3rd and about 15 at the 5-yard line for the Foxes.
You know where this ball's going here, right in the belly of the big guy.
Could go to Hamilton, but they may try and air it out. I mean, he could go for as good as a punt situation where you just kind of heave one up. They're going to go for the carry to Hendren, and Cooper Hendren has positive yardage, and it's going to end very similarly to how it would have if the Wolverines would have declined the penalty. So basically no harm, no foul, other than the Wolverines lose a few seconds there. It looks like the Wolverines did take their timeout, their 2nd timeout. So 4th down now, forced by the Wolverines defense. Does a nice job there.
Yeah.
Getting the stop.
Got enough time to make the catch, call for a fair catch, or if you have some running room, you can notice you'll just take it down the field.
Or you may see the Wolverines go for an all-out block here. It may be the play call. Of course, you want to avoid running into the punter or roughing the punter, but at this stage in the game, it may be a wise call to just send them all out, because the other thing you have to think about is I don't think the Foxes are going to want to exactly punt directly to if it's Scoop Smith or Brandon Jones returning this punt. back in the Northeast Conference tonight for the Wolverines, and we look at those conference standings. Penn Hills sits atop with a perfect conference record of 3-0, 6-1 overall. Woodland Hills sitting in the 2 spot with 2 wins in conference and no losses, 5-2 overall. Pine Richlands only played 2 conference games, looking for their second conference win tonight as they sit 1-1 in conference, 4-3 overall with that big win over Central Catholic last week. North Hills in the 4 spot, 2-2 with 3-4 overall record, 4-3 for Shaler, 2 losses in conference, no wins, and the Foxes, as we said, 0-7 overall and have not won a conference game yet. Fox Chapel set the punt. Scoop Smith ready to return it. Looks like the Wolverines will not go for the all-out block. But Zykeer Moore got in there and almost got it as Scoop Smith getting ready to return it. Takes a nice bounce. He gets it at about the 45. He's up around midfield, out to the 45-yard line of the Foxes, out to the 40, makes the cut, past 1, 35, 30, 25, 15, out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. So Scoop Smith does it again. I think it's the first time he's touched the ball in the entire first half, which is just amazing to have to say. But with the Wolverines committing to the power run, you're not going to see Scoop Smith get the ball much, unfortunately, on offense. But right there, he took that opportunity and made a bang as he gets it all the way down to the 12-yard line.
Oh, he's quite an athlete, is he not? Looked like he was bottled in. There were, of course, some of the Foxes had good angles, but Scoop just used his speed to get around the outside of the tracking pursuit.
And what hands by Scoop to be able to get that off the bounce on the fingertips with a Fox coming in on him so fast as he gets it all the way down to the 12-yard line. 1st and 10, Woodland Hills, 40 seconds remaining, 1 timeout. Cam Walter looking to pass. Nowhere to really go as he's getting rushed. There's going to be a flag on the play. It's going to be holding, unfortunately, on the great run by Cam Walter. It's going to be negated. And not only that, but it's going to move the Wolverines back big time. So that's just a tough penalty to take for Woodland Hills, and we'll have to look at the replay and see if it was something egregious, because that's a tough call to make in that situation. So the Foxes get a big break there, negating depending on where they would have spot the ball. Not quite sure there. A bit of a chaos going on there on the offensive line. It looks like it would have been a touchdown run by Cam Walter. Josh Allen-esque there on the run by Walter. Unfortunately, gets wiped away. And it'll push the Wolverines back here for a big 1st down and 20 yards.
And one of my pet peeves, Eric, is, you know, we don't get the number of the offender. And we've been at games, have we not?
Where they have said it, yeah.
Where the referee has indicated the number. I don't know if there's a rule about when you were able to do that, or if it's just at the decision of the referee. But
so the Wolverines still with a timeout in their pocket. Clock started, so the Wolverines have to be aware of that. They started the game clock, so time is running off the clock here for Woodland Hills in the pistol formation. And I'm not sure if the clock should have started there. I think that was an error as Wolverines throw it deep into the end zone. There to make the catch, it looks like. Wow, Simeon McCoy, amongst several Foxes, makes the touchdown grab. And again, I think that was an error on the game clock, because that was the 1st down play, if I'm not mistaken, right? So if the clock wasn't running before that, it shouldn't be running after a penalty, unless I'm wrong there. Could have been a small error there, but it doesn't matter, because the Wolverines, what a throw by Cam Walter, finding Simeon McCoy, avoiding the rush. And then McCoy, amongst several Foxes, holds on after he gets hit pretty hard there in the end zone. Caleb Shirk came in to try and knock it loose, but McCoy, nice job to hold on for 6 for Wolverines as Jacob Mraz gets set to try and make it 21-7.
Yeah, that kick was kind of against his body too, Eric. He was able to put it right into the lap. Great combination by quarterback and receiver.
Right, so if I'm not wrong about the clock, it should not have started because it was 1st down, so the clock was not running, unless it was on that 1st down play. But Wolverines just got the ball back started there after the punt return, so the clock was stopped, and it was errantly started there, which it could have hurt the Wolverines if that pass would have fallen incomplete, because the Wolverines lost about 10 seconds there, and you can't blame Cam Walter for not looking back, because he would never think the game clock had started. Obviously, the game clock at his back at that point. But the Wolverines just used their athleticism and skill. What a throw by Walter to get into the end zone. McCoy, one of those unsung heroes in the receiving corps for the Wolverines, the junior. Usually you hear about Scoop Smith or Nico Andrews or Amir Brown, certainly big-time threats for the Wolverines, but Simeon McCoy does it as well as he makes the big 22-yard touchdown grab.
Yeah, he went up strongly, Eric, between 3 defenders and hauled it in. And the Wolverines 21-7 as Mraz gets set to kick off with just 10 seconds remaining before halftime.
Expect to see a squib here from Ross. They do squib it, but there are whistles here off the kick as there's a flag on the far side. I'm not sure if maybe one of the Wolverines was just a little bit ahead. Something you rarely see it. That you see it on onside kicks, but you rarely will see it on just a regular kickoff. It must have been pretty apparent for them to throw that with 10 seconds left remaining here in the half, as the official looked like he kind of giggled there on the far side. Hard to tell who it was there on the replay, but that'll move the Wolverines back 5 yards. Expect to see the same kind of squib here from Jacob Mraz. Mraz kicks it away on the squib, right into the arms of one of the upmen, and really it stuck to him there as the Fox Chapel. Owen Zarenby, I think, was the up man there. Yes, it was 81 for Foxes, and he's able to control that. As, like he said, it just kind of stuck to him there. And Fox Chapel will have it first down and 10 at their own 41, but I'm not sure if they're even going to run a play here. If they do, they may just give it to Hamilton. On what will probably be the final play of the first half. Woodland Hills on top right now, 21-7. Johnson under center. Give goes to Valdez. Has to break it out to his left. Wolverines are there. Nice job by Stephen Fulwiley, who looked like he was getting held on the near side pretty badly. Not that it would have mattered, but he was able to still make the tackle on Valdez and end the first half, 21-7, Woodland Hills.
Yeah, they regrouped very nicely in the latter part of the second quarter. That's more like we expect to see from the Wolverines.
Yeah, fighting through a lot of adversity right now, some penalties and some bad bounces, some bad breaks for the Wolverines, but still able to get 21 points up on the board and carry a nice 14-point lead into the half, and I'm sure that in the second half they're going to come out even harder as they will continue to look to take this lead higher and higher against the Foxes here in this big, crucial Northeast Conference game.
Couldn't agree more. That 21-7, a bit of a shocker for the fans here at the Wolverina, but Woodland Hills now opens up that double-digit lead. A little tenuous there for a while, where we were at 7-7, but now it's Wolverines putting their foot down.
Yeah, it's hard to see when you're coming off of a couple weeks where the Wolverines were able to just dominate, after the early part of the game. You're expecting as a fan to see the same thing, so the fans a little bit, it was a little bit strange to see that kind of start, but like you said, they regrouped very well and collected themselves, still able to get a nice 14-point lead, 21 points on the board as they'll look to add to it in the second half. But right now, 21-7, Woodland Hills has the lead as we're going to take a break for the half, let the band take the field, and here on annual band night should be a nice performance. And again, 21-7, Woodland Hills on top. And we'll see you with more action with Woodland Hills Football Network in the second half. The bands are off the field, and football action is ready to begin here in a couple minutes as Woodland Hills Wolverines band and Fox Chapel Foxes band did a nice job at halftime performances on the annual band night here at the Wolverina. But now it's time to get back to football here. 21-7 your score. Woodland Hills on top of the Foxes right now going into the second half. And as we talked about before, the end of the half, Woodland Hills, doing a lot of things right, but just some bad breaks, some bad penalties. The only thing the defense hasn't really been able to contain is that jet sweep that they've done with Valdez. Valdez about 56 yards on 10 carries in the first half. So not horrible, but just kind of good timing on the runs, on the positive runs for the Foxes. They've really done a good job. The Woodland Hills defense has of containing Hamilton. He really hasn't had much luck running up the gut. But other than that, Fox Chapel's offense mostly through penalty yards on that touchdown drive.
It was, and as you mentioned, 5 yards plus a carry for the running back. And yeah, it's kind of a stumbling way Woodland Hills goes into the third quarter with some good stuff and some not so good stuff. I'm sure Coach Tarrant has made a mention of what the good stuff is and what he hopes his team will avoid. Now Fox Chapel will get the kickoff to start the third quarter, so Woodland Hills needs to knuckle down and play tough defense and get the ball back right away.
Yeah, so one of our viewers made a good comment. You got to come out in the second half just like it's 0-0. Can't have in mind that you got that 14-point cushion. You got to come out aggressive and hard. Think that in your mind the game is 0-0. You're going to play different, and that's going to play big here in the second half as Woodland Hills looks to get a big conference win here tonight. 14-point lead. Fox Chapel is going to get the opening kickoff in the second half.
Yes, they will.
The defense is going to have to step up. But like we talked about, defense did a lot of things right. Just had some trouble with that jet sweep. So we'll see if Coach Tarrant, Chris Edmonds, and the coaching staff maybe was able to make a few adjustments there, because Woodland Hills certainly has the speed to stay with Foxes. But Valdez, a pretty good runner, made some good cuts there on those jet sweep runs. And again, something that Wolverines haven't seen so much is an offense running out of under center, and that's what Fox Chapel's doing. And just something minor like that can have effects on the defense.
Yeah, conversely speaking, they were able to run the ball quite well when they put the big guy in there and just keep pounding the ball up the middle. And they early on were kind of a presence for, I don't think the Wolverines had this kind of thing in mind in the first quarter. They looked up at the board and it's almost like it's only 7-7 or
yeah, it's a surprise as we talked
Yes.
about a team coming in with hadn't scored a point in 3 conference games and struggling on the year with injuries and some other things going on, with the program already rebuilding with the first-year coach and Dave Leisure. But Fox Chapel did a pretty good job there in the first half. But Woodland Hills, of course, able to get 21 points, get that 14-point lead. Cam Walter only completing 1 pass in the first half, and that's a rarity, but the pass was a touchdown pass, and it was a great throw by Walter, a great find to see Simeon McCoy, and an even better catch by Simeon McCoy to hold on to that as he got hit. He had to kind of backtrack a little bit to make the catch, a nice adjustment, able to hold on into the end zone with a big play there at the end of the half. And again, something that was big, Scoop touching the ball. I think it was his only touch in the first half. It came on special teams, and boy, did he make the most of it with that punt return to get it all the way down to the 12-yard line. And then, the Wolverines were a victim of holding there, so they moved back 10 yards and had to go down back to the 22-yard line, still able to get it in the end zone. Really showed some guts there to get that touchdown before the end of the half.
Yeah, that was a nice vertical leap there by Simeon. He was able to go up and between the 3 defenders, pull it in. A couple of tense moments as we see on the replay. We're watching the monitor. Fumble by Woodland Hills, recovered by Woodland Hills, and some alert play on the squib kicks. Nice work there by the special teams to hang on to the ball.
Yeah, a couple nice runs by quarterback Cam Walter in the first half. Hasn't been able to use his legs too much so far this season, kind of protecting Cam a little bit more in terms of not using the RPO as much. But it's a wise decision to keep your quarterback protected, especially a quarterback like Cam Walter, as we look at that wonderful punt return by Scoop Smith and get ready here for the third quarter. But again, Cam Walter with that nice one, especially the Josh Allen-like run that we talked about in the first half, where he was able to get into the end zone, but that penalty took that away. But then the Woodland Hills Wolverines still able to get a 14-point lead to start this second half, as we had the slow start like we talked about, the interception, the punt, but then a couple nice touchdown runs on back-to-back drives by the Wolverines, runs by Zykeer Moore, and then that big 22-yard pass from Cam Walter to Simeon McCoy, as right now Jacob Mraz gets set to kick it away to start the second half here in Turtle Creek. So gets it away, the 20 again, right into the hands of a Fox at the 20-yard line. Cuts back, able to make a couple men miss there, but then brought down very nicely. Looked like possibly DJ Dutrell on the tackle there. I'm not sure, it's hard to tell the number there for the Wolverines, but on the return there for the Foxes was Brady Givens.
Ran into his own man. Excuse me, Eric, there. I don't think it meant that much. A good pursuit there by the Wolverines special team. Right there.
Yeah, it was Dutrell on the tackle there. Nice job. With the help from another Wolverine. It looked like Jaden Lindsay also in on the tackle. So 1st and 10 for the Foxes. Valdez on that jet sweep, on that carry again, up to about the 30-yard line. So 3 yards there on the run by Valdez. Good job by the Wolverine defense to limit that carry.
He's quick. He can get around the corner nicely.
Does a nice job on that jet sweep. You know, jet sweep something you typically see out of shotgun formation. The Foxes adding in a different little wrinkle there, running it from under center. 2nd down and 7 now for Fox Chapel. Valdez and Hamilton are the backs. Fumble on the snap, but it looked like Johnson got right back on it. So a good, fortunate bounce for the Foxes as Johnson jumps back on it to create a 3rd down on the loss of 1 there. It'll be a 3rd and 8. Substitution made for the Wolverines as Ziggy Moore gets back on the field. Jaden Estes makes his way to the sideline here for a big early 3rd down in the 3rd quarter. Play clock under 10. Sends a man in motion. VD and Valdez are the backs. He's going to roll out to his right. Not much there. He's going to drop it off short underneath, and a nice catch there by the Foxes for a 1st down. Jack Vitti. There is a flag on the far side, so hopefully it is a holding on Fox Chapel. It looks like the Foxes think it's defensive holding. And it looked like Johnson was excitingly trying to show that it was holding, but it is going to be on the Foxes. So
that was a pretty easy call, Eric. Right at the end of the play there, we had some grabbing going on there, and
yeah, a lot of Zykir Moore's
right
jersey there, absolutely. Yeah, it looked like that right tackle there for the Foxes, Luca Poli, with guilty of the hold there. Makes a 3rd and long now for Fox Chapel.
Need to get to the 27. Oh, excuse me, the 37.
So he's going to roll out to his left, quickly gets it off to Valdez. Valdez tries to cut back up inside from the sideline, but just not going to be enough as he gets back close to the original line of scrimmage, but it's not going to be enough of a gain for a 1st down. So the Wolverines defense does a nice job of forcing this punt here as, you know, the Foxes thought they had it for a moment, but that was a pretty big hold there, which prevented Zykir Moore from getting to Johnson. So the dump off to Valdez gets him out to the 30, or out to the 27-yard line, but 26-yard line, excuse me. Not going to be enough. So Foxes are forced to punt.
Prince Tarrant Jr. on the stop.
So this time the Foxes wisely punt it toward the sideline. And it's going to be interesting to see where they place this ball because they're going to put it at the 35, so it's very, very hard to tell where that ball really went out of bounds. So the official just has to make a judgment call. So they'll put it at the 35. Nonetheless, it's great field position for the Wolverines here as they wisely keep it away from Scoop Smith, as Zykir Moore almost got the block again.
And the good thing about that, Eric, they were both in on him, and they were able to avoid the kicker, or the punter, I should say, on that. So that all led to that poor punt.
That's a very good point. You don't want a penalty there for running into the punter, excuse me.
And a nice catch by one of the fans from Fox Chapel.
Yeah, that's rare to see that happen. And the power pistol, handoff goes to Zykir Moore. Not much doing there as he was unable to get that head of steam off the jump. So a gain of 1 for Woodland Hills creates a 2nd and 9.
33, Caleb Shirk in on the stop for Fox Chapel.
Yeah, that's one thing when you play this type of game. The only advantage that Fox Chapel really has in a situation like this is they're pretty much going to sell out on the run every play. They're going to stack that box with 8 guys, and they're going to just try and do their best to stop the run. And on plays like that, sometimes it works out in their favor. Other times, Wolverines are able to open up the holes for Zykir Moore. Shotgun formation, trips to Walter's left, fakes the give, out to Corday Weems, who can't bring it in his hands, but dropped it. Think he was thinking about the run after the catch there, unfortunately, and probably would have had nice yardage if he had been able to look that ball in, but unfortunately, Weems on the incompletion after the nice throw by Walter. It's going to be 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, Weems wants that one back for sure because he had some daylight in front of him and possibly some moves to put on display also.
Yeah, very short-handed Weems, so that's something you don't see very often there. Creates a 3rd down and 9, but the Wolverines are in 4-down territory. Shotgun formation, play clock down to 7. Walter takes the snap. He's going to look out to his left. He's got Scoop open. And they're going to throw a holding penalty, so he gets it out to Scoop for a first down, but unfortunately the hold comes in, and this is going to put the Wolverines back big time here.
Yeah, play took too long to develop, and some of the interior linemen were to keep Cam upright. Most likely reached out and grabbed.
So it'll be 3rd down and 19 now for the Wolverines.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So that really sets the Wolverines back, and now you're not in 4-down territory anymore unless you make a nice big positive play here on 3rd down to get yourself in a position where you can go for it. So ball goes all the way back to the 44. Nope, now they're going to say the 45. So they put it, now they put it back to the 44. So there's a little bit of confusion there from the officials, but they get it right down to the 44-yard line, 3rd down and 19. Look for the screen pass. He's got Zykeir Moore, who's got running room. He tries to make 2 men miss, but he just can't as Mason Miles was able to get Zykeir Moore. Man, it looked like he was down. It looked like the ground caused the fumble, but the officials didn't really look like they blew the whistle or ended the play. But Zykeir Moore just so nonchalantly pulls the ball back into his possession there to make sure that Fox Chapel isn't able to get on it. But the good thing about that play is it gives you the opportunity to go for it on 4th down.
It does at the 31-yard line. Still a pretty big chunk of yardage to go. It looks like about 3rd, 4th, and 7. So we might see Cam Walter put the ball in the air here and opt for getting someone open.
Walter immediately rolls out to his left. Doesn't have much there, but he does see Scoop, his man along the sideline. 1st down catch. Big time play by Walter and Scoop there to find his man nestled along the sideline at the 22-yard line to move the chains.
That was an NFL catch, but we both feet in bounds.
Yeah, definitely showed some nice footwork there, excuse me, Jim, to pull that ball in, and a nice job by Cam Walter throwing across his body there. Makes a nice throw to put it in a perfect spot for Scoop. So 1st down and 10 at the 22-yard line, just on the edge of the red zone here. As Woodland Hills up 21-7, 7.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Hard count by Cam Walter gets the Foxes to jump into the neutral zone there, so that'll be a free 5 yards for the Wolverines.
Encroachment on the defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Now, Eric, do you take a chance and put the ball in the air here on 1st and 5? Or do you stick with the run game here now that you have the short yardage for 1st and 5 yards?
Well, knowing the way the Wolverines have been running the ball, I think probably the wise decision is to keep it on the ground, though. I never am against a gamble. And when you got Cam and Scoop and Nico Andrews and Amir Brown, it's hardly a gamble. So they do put it in the air. Nice throw to Scoop along the sideline there. He cuts back into the end zone for a touchdown. Man, so hard to tackle, able to break tackles so well in that speed. And when you're that close to the end zone, you're never going to pull them in if you miss one tackle. So Scoop Smith on the touchdown grab from Cam Walter. Puts the Wolverines up 27-7.
Excuse me, did you see that footwork after the catch? It was some beautiful footwork by as he scoops and goes. Very nice to stay in bounds. He does it well.
So Jacob Mraz attempts the extra point here to try and make it 28-7. Woodland Hills up and good. That makes it a 21-point lead now for the Wolverines with 7:22 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Nice execution there, and you love to see when Woodland Hills is able to work through big penalties like that. That holding got them back to a 3rd and 19, and that's a tough spot to be in, especially in the place of the field that they were. But they did a great job of working through that. A nice play call by offensive coordinator Cam Sadler, knowing he's able to have success with that screen in the pass to Zykeir Moore. Gets enough yardage to put him in a position where they can go for it on 4th. They convert the 1st down, and then just a great pass there from Cam Walter to Scoop Smith. I like the fact that they put the ball in the air there too, trusting your poised quarterback Cam Walter and your receivers there and getting it in the end zone quick.
Way too much cushion on the sideline there for Scoop. Although if you go right up on him, he'll go right around you. So he creates that kind of a dilemma. Just how much of a cushion are you able to give him on a play like that? I think the defense played it pretty well, but he just has the skill to get away from tacklers and to use his speed, and he did both on that situation.
So Fox Chapel now looking to get the ball back here from the Wolverines on the kickoff. Jacob Mraz set to kick it away. Burgess back to return. Short kick, pulled in. Looked like a semi-onside kick attempt there, but nice job there by the Foxes to pull that in. They've done that all night. Liam Koffler. Geez, Fox Chapel, it's one thing you think when you see crazy bounces like that. One time it'll go Woodland Hills' way, but Fox Chapel every time has been able to pull in those bounces, those weird bounces, and they do it yet again, and they'll have good starting field position. But, you know, I like the Wolverines' call there, trying to catch the Foxes off guard, and it almost worked to perfection. But just a nice job there. You have to give it to Fox Chapel. Did what they had to do.
They got
Liam Koffler.
Very courteous bounce there.
So first down and 10. Fox Chapel ball at their own 43. Send Valdez in motion. Everybody moves except for the center. So that's going to be a false start there on Fox Chapel. You know, I remember that play years ago for the Steelers that everybody moved and the center was standing there like a statue with the ball, or they squatted down like a statue with the ball, and everybody else moved. So that's one of those situations. A little bit of a miscommunication there. We'll move the Foxes back 5 yards. So first down and 15, ball at the 37-yard line now of the Foxes.
That would definitely make a blooper reel, would it not?
Yes, exactly. That play for the Steelers, it certainly does make blooper reels. Rolling out is Johnson. Got a couple semi-wide open receivers, but nice job by Nico Andrews there, and they're going to call a flag again on the near side here. Just looked like good coverage by Nico Andrews. Unfortunately, they're going to say he's guilty of a pass interference, so that's going to move the Foxes up after the penalty is called here.
I don't even know if the ball was catchable.
And it looked like it was out of his reach. They may have made the argument that if there was a hold by Andrews, he would have been able to get there. Nonetheless, it is going to move the Foxes up. So another one of those penalties, tough to take if you're the Wolverines, but still a nice 28-7 lead here as Fox Chapel moves to the 47-yard line of Woodland Hills now. As we get a chance to take a second look at it, might be tough to tell if there was much of a hold there. It did look like it was probably uncatchable, but yes, right on the sideline there next to the Fox Chapel faithful and the coaches. Calls probably going to happen every time. So muff snap there by the Foxes, but it looked like Johnson got on it again. As we talked about, that's another bounce that just goes their way. Woodland Hills, unfortunately, just can't get one their way tonight, but still up 28-7, doing it the way they need to, even though they haven't really had any breaks. So that ball kind of sits there for Johnson as he's able to jump on it. So that'll create a second down and 11 now for Fox Chapel. Ball at the Woodland Hills 48. Jaden Estes on that line along with Marcus Williams, Antonio Nash. A couple substitutions made in that Hills, though. As Johnson rolls out to his right, doesn't have really anywhere to run, so he wisely slides down in the face of Zykeer Moore for no gain. So it'll be third down.
Looks like 3rd and 11, Eric, and the way the Wolverines have been rushing the passer, Coach Leisure has gone to the rollout, which he really had to do. They tried earlier on to have a pocket develop, but unsuccessful. So let's look for a rollout maybe to this near side and see what happens.
Clock under 6 minutes now. Another one of these inside handoffs after the give to Hendren, but Wolverines are not fooled by that. Andre Smith in the backfield quickly takes down Valdez.
Probably looking for 6 or 7 yards there, Eric, to be able to make it a 4th and 3 or 4, but that's not going to happen with the Woodland Hills pursuit.
Yeah, that double handoff there did not work. Nice job by Andre Smith reading that play. And also along that front right now, a couple underclassmen. Marcus Mullins Xavier Davis getting some time on the interior defensive line, giving Antonio Nash and Marcus Williams a break. So Johnson rolls out to his left. He's going to look deep to Valdez, but then he decides not to throw it. He's still looking. He gets rushed. He dumps it off short, and it's caught by the Foxes. And that's going to be a first down. I'm kind of shocked that there wasn't a holding or an illegal man downfield there. It looked like there were a few, but the Foxes fight through it and get a first down. A nice job by Johnson. And that's just going to happen when you have that much time to be able to roll out and get away. That's going to happen. And Woodland Hills really didn't do anything wrong there. They had good coverage, but just too long, as it looked like Johnson was just able to get away from the rush. And I mean, massive holding there.
My goodness,
massive holding as he was pulling the arm of Marcus Mullins to keep him away. And I just don't think the officials right now want to make any of those calls. And in a game like this, it's a little bit understandable. But 4.5 minutes remaining in the third. Give to Hamilton, trying to show off some speed there as he jumps up to the 31-yard line.
That was an egregious hold there.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. Just one of those things. I guess it's easy for, if the officials can't see it, they get lost in the in the mass of linemen. You can miss something like that, but it looked like Valdez was holding Andre Smith there too. But so second down now after the 3-yard run by Hamilton. He'll give him 4 actually up to the 31-yard line. Johnson under center. He's going to roll. He's going to look like he's going to roll. He's going to drop straight back. Tries to throw it deep down the seam. A couple Wolverines there. Good coverage there by Scoop Smith and company in the secondary. The intended receiver there for the Foxes was number 8 for Fox Chapel, Isaac Jacobs.
Yeah, would have taken a perfect pass. Well covered.
Prince Tarrant there as well. Excuse me. Prince Tarrant was the other Wolverine in the secondary on the coverage. So another third down here for Fox Chapel, 3rd and 6. As they bring Hendren in motion, he's going to get the carry on the jet sweep. He's got plenty of room to run along the right side. Gets the big first down for Fox Chapel inside the 25, and now they're going to throw another flag. I think they're going to say late hit, but it really did not look late from our vantage point, but I think they're going to say it was late. So that'll tack on more yardage for the Foxes.
It's hard for me to bite my tongue here, Eric, but
yeah, when you have an 0-7 team coming in, sometimes they're going to get some breaks. Oh, so they're not going to say late hit. I think they're going to say he led with the head there and led with his helmet. So helmet-to-helmet contact on the hit. So not sure who was the guilty party for the Wolverines, but hopefully it wasn't anybody who already has a personal foul. As we see, it certainly wasn't late. A scoop with the hit, but I don't think that was leading with the head. I mean, it was so low where he went to hit Hendren, but it's going to move them down even deeper into Woodland Hills territory. As Johnson has a first down and 10 now with Hamilton as the back. Give goes to Valdez on that jet sweep, but this time it's not going to work at all. The Wolverines do a great job. I don't see any flags on the field. Prince Tarrant, nice tackle there.
Oh, he went nice and low and was able to upend.
Just great pursuit by Tarrant out of the secondary there, keep tracking Valdez so well, and a great tackle so he's not able to try and break free from that. So that puts the Foxes back a little bit back to the 12-yard line as we approach 3 minutes in the third quarter.
Another drive that's been complemented by penalties.
Hopefully this one does not end in points for the Foxes. Bad snap there, it looked like, but Johnson's able to get it yet again. I've never seen so many times that the offense is able to still get a snap. So Wolverines do a nice job of cleaning that up fast, even though Johnson was able to jump back on it, but puts him back to the 15-yard line for a loss of a couple there. It looks like the Foxes are going to take a timeout here.
Always wondered, are they recorded as fumbles when you have a botched snap like that?
Might be a question for our stat man, Ken Mrazek. So Lanier Butler was there to take down Johnson. 2:28 remaining in the third quarter, 28-7. Your Wolverines on top. Fox Chapel looking to try and get into the end zone again here. A couple big penalties on the Wolverines helping the Foxes get into scoring territory, but a couple big plays as well. Woodland Hills has had some trouble tracking down the Foxes on a few plays there. That jet sweep, as we talked about at the half, it's hurt the Wolverines a little bit. Valdez is a good runner. He's got speed on the edge, and a couple times we've seen the Wolverines really pursue it well and do a great job, but a few other times it's come back to hurt the Wolverines.
Yeah, they've come out really energized, have they not, Fox Chapel? Get this ball in the end zone here, and it's a 2-score game. So Woodland Hills has to really come up with a stop here and keep this lead that we have 14 points into the third and fourth quarters.
Yeah, 3rd and long here for the Foxes, and we know they're going to go for it on 4th down regardless here. So we'll see what the Wolverines can do to try and push them back even further here. Johnson takes a snap, rolls out to his right immediately. He's going to throw it up for Hendren, and it's dropped, incomplete. It looked like he may have had it there for a moment. Scoop Smith on the coverage, helped out to break that ball loose. So it becomes a 4th down and about 13 here for the Foxes. Really no use in trying a field goal here. Down by 21 points. So I'm sure they will go for this.
Yeah, this was a catchable ball, I thought. Well, a little hard.
And nice play
deep
by Scoop, though.
Yeah.
You got to give him credit there to get in there and break that ball loose.
Going up against a taller receiver there, too.
Yeah, 5 seconds on the play clock, so Fox Chapel has to get this one off quick. They're going to send Hendren in motion. Gets it off with 1 second remaining. Rushed by Antonio Nash. That ball's going to be knocked up in the air and drops incomplete. So Antonio Nash with the big-time pressure on the quarterback, able to get that pass off. It was Johnson, but it was a wobbler. And the Wolverines defense steps up big to get the ball back in the offense's hands, fighting through some penalties, and they're able to get the stop. And now Cam Walter and company will come back on the field.
Yeah, Nash putting heavy pressure. The ball just flutters down to the 15-yard line. No one within any kind of reach of it. And Wolverines take over.
If it was able to hang up there for just maybe 2 more seconds, Andre Smith was right there to get it, and it may have been pick 6 because there was barely anybody in front of him. So Wolverines come out here 1st and 10, backed up at their own 15. Fakes the give to Moore, out to Nico Andrews on the far sideline, I believe. Makes a nice catch. He's pushed out of bounds after a nice run after the catch by Andrews for a 1st down.
Very nicely done.
Yeah, about a 15-yard gain there for the Wolverines. I like the play call on 1st down, a little bit of deception as he fakes the give on the play action to Zykeer Moore and goes out to Nico Andrews, who makes the man miss. Able to stay in bounds for extra yardage and set the Wolverines up now on 1st down and 10 at their own 30. Five-yard run play there for Zykeer Moore. Flag down on the play on the far side.
Personal foul, illegal helmet contact, defense, 15.
So they're going to throw that
First down.
helmet-to-helmet hit again. This time the Foxes are the guilty party. So nice break for the Wolverines there. Looked like, looked like Valdez maybe came in there with just straight down, put his helmet. You got to think that that's very unnecessary because it looked like Moore was already being brought down by a few Wolverines, and Valdez tried to get in there but led with his head. So ball to 49, give to Zykeer Moore as he has a few Foxes there ready for him, and he gets pushed back, but forward progress should give him about 3 yards. So that'll be 2nd down and 7 for Woodland Hills.
And not bad there by the Foxes. Able to converge and make the stop. Like initial hit made by number 78, Thomas Billings. And he was joined by a few other teammates to put Zykeer Moore to the turf.
Approaching 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter. Fakes the give. Walter, straight drop back. He's got Scoop deep. Scoop sees it, brings it in. Touchdown, Woodland Hills. What a pass. That's a beauty right there from Cam Walter. Just a strong, confident throw, and Scoop breaking free, getting behind the defense, and that's what you expect to see all night right there. And it's been more of a running game for Woodland Hills as they've had a lot of success on the ground. You can't blame them, but right there, they suck some Foxes in on the run, and then Walter just lays it out there on a beautiful pass. And Scoop brings it in around the 11 and just waltzes into the end zone for 6.
He gets a step on the defense, and Walter gets a little bit of time. That's what you're going to see most of the time, a big gainer or a touchdown.
So Mraz out to kick the extra point. Up and good. That makes it 35-7. Your Woodland Hills Wolverines on top by 28 of Fox Chapel. And that drive is really nice, too, because it came after something that, that drive for Fox Chapel where they just kind of held the ball longer than you expected. A couple penalties on Woodland Hills, faced some adversity, but they're able to thwart that drive and then get the ball back and just get it in the end zone quickly.
Big time answer back there by Walter and Scoop Smith, and some nice pass protection to allow Cam to drop that ball right at about the 10-yard line, and Scoop Smith does the rest. He's just a dynamic player, just a sophomore, as we've mentioned many times, as is Cam Walter, Jason Mraz.
Jacob Mraz.
Jacob Mraz.
You're thinking of Jason Mraz, I think, the
yes.
artist.
I don't even know him. Do I know him?
Probably have heard some of his songs, I would imagine. 58 seconds remaining in the third quarter here as Jacob Mraz gets set to kick it away for Woody High.
A little extra emphasis there on Jacob, huh? Okay.
Mraz set to kick it away. Here we go. Does a squib this time. Pulled in nicely by the Foxes. Able to make a couple Wolverines miss, but brought down at about the 22-yard line pretty quickly there on the far side. So that was number 39 for the Foxes, Brady Gibbons on the return. And looking around the Whippeal here for some scores. No shocker here. Aliquip on top big on Newcastle, 35-0. Steel Valley up 14 over Burrow right now, 28-14. Latrobe in a close one with Connellsville, 29-22 right now. Imani Christian up big right now on the Derry Trojans, 37-0. Cannon McMillan in a tight one with Upper St. Clair, 17-10. McKeesport in a non-conference game, up 11, 31-20 on Gateway right now. So Fox Chapel starts off 1st and 10. The jet sweep to Valdez. Gets past a couple Wolverines, but he's brought down at around the 31 or 32, but a nice run there by Valdez, and that's something that the Wolverines have struggled with tonight, like we talked about, and I think it's going to be a big point of emphasis coming into next week. Pine Richland is going to want to run the ball probably with how effective they can run the ball with Ethan Pillar. They like to run the ball between the tackles a little bit more, though, and Pine Richland and John Ledon like to continue what gives them success, but they may see some vulnerabilities on film on this defense, and they may try to attack that. But I think that Coach Terrett and Chris Edmonds will be ready for that next week, as I'm sure the defense will be prepared for the Rams.
Gotta be, and they will.
2nd down and 1. Give to Hamilton. They'll give it to the big man. Gets up for a first down to the 35-yard line.
Fumble.
Looked like the ball was fumbled, but the officials
yes, it's down.
Will say he was down. So we'll move to 1st down for the Foxes. If you take a look at that carry and see if we can tell if it was a fumble, but it was really hard to tell from our vantage point if that ball was out. Probably if it did come loose, it may have been one of those situations where the ground causes the fumble. But it was the final play of the third quarter, as your Woodland Hills Wolverines have started to run away with this one, 35-7 on top of the Foxes. Getting set for 4th quarter play here in Turtle Creek.
Before your time, Eric, but who does D'Angelo Hamilton remind you of? One man comes to mind for me, the Chicago Bear.
A running back or
Refrigerator Perry?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, that's right. We were actually one of the Fox Chapel's stat man, Mr. Shields, was talking about that before
was
the
he
game.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Made sure to mention that. So that is very true. That is something that they're going with here tonight. And, like I said, you got to give Johnson credit, the sophomore Nathan Johnson making his first varsity start from what we understand. Tough situation to come in under and make your first varsity start, but he's done a pretty good job for the Foxes. But Woodland Hills just proven to be too much tonight for Fox Chapel, and they've gotten this lead out to a 28-point lead, even though they've got some things I'm sure they'd like to improve on going into next week, but that's going to happen. So Woodland Hills now on defense, facing the 1st and 10 for the Foxes. Give goes up the middle to Hamilton. He's able to carry a couple Wolverines with him for a nice gain of 7 there.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of fans in my era said the same thing right away, so that wasn't a unique pickup by me at all. I'm sure there were fans saying, "He reminds me of refrigerator pear."
Yeah, that's right. Does have some nimble feet for a big guy, and he's had some pretty good ball security as well.
He does.
So 2nd down and 3 for the Foxes. The handoff goes to Valdez, who's brought down by Landon Akins. Nice tackle by Akins there, getting in there and taking down Valdez, not letting him make another move. And that's a big tackle because it forces a big 3rd down and 3 now.
Going very low and upending the sweep. And Adrian Valdez picks up a couple of yards there on the sweep at a 3rd down. We are past the point of a crucial 3rd down, I think, with the score being what it is, but I'm sure they would like to pick up this 3 or 4 yards, keep the ball.
So they're going to go to Hamilton, who's going to cut up inside and get a 1st down. It looked like the Wolverines were all over that. It looked like they had the penetration they needed, but Hamilton makes a nice move and a late push there by the Foxes. Number 54 looked like he was going after Andre Smith there. Andrew Shepard was not happy about something, but Fox is down at the moment. But it did look like they threw a flag, so we'll see if they got the retaliator and I didn't even see Andre Smith really do anything, so we'll see what happens here. If we can take a look. Actually, it was 73.
Yes.
So it kind of started between Owen Metrick and Andre Smith. Metrick kind of threw the first push.
He did.
Smith got upset, pushed him back, and then another Fox came in. That was Andrew Shepard, who thought he needed to get involved. So it was 2 Foxes who were pushing around with Andre Smith. So we'll see if they just kind of do offsetting penalties here or what they decide to do.
I don't like the way he's standing, though.
Yeah, it looks like they're standing like this. It's going to be only on the Wolverines, which I would be shocked to see that happen.
We have 2 dead ball fouls, both personal fouls on each team.
Yeah, there we go. That's the right thing to do.
Good call.
4th down.
So it'll be 4th down and half yard. Yep. Thought he got that 1st down. Wow, I'm surprised.
I thought he did too. Apparently something touched to the ground before he was able to get across that 1st down marker.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to. I think they're going to have to fix this. I'm pretty sure that was a 1st down. Getting things sorted out here. I think they're going to realize that I thought that should have been a 1st down, but apparently not. So anyway, 10:30 remaining in the game here. 35-7 Woodland Hills. It's a 4th down play here for the Foxes. So Johnson rolls out, just throws it away as Zykeer Moore trails after him, but another flag comes in. Not sure what the flag is, but looked like the Foxes are clapping on the sideline, so it might be the Wolverines guilty of something here. It was pretty late after the play was over, but they called Fox Chapel for a hold. Declined by Coach Tarrant, and they'll give the ball back to the Wolverines. That was kind of a bizarre series of events there. I thought that Hamilton had that 1st down, but maybe the chains were incorrect, and that could have led to what was a 4th down after the offsetting penalties. But Woodland Hills, nonetheless, will get the ball back. Ball at their own 49-yard line. That's where they will start with good field position. Close one between Seneca Valley and North Hills, 25-18. Seneca Valley on top right now. Last time I checked, Upper St. Clair and Canamac were knotted up at 17. Looks like Coach Tarrant's going to take a timeout. There had been some miscommunication there on the change of possession.
That's good timeout.
So 35-7 your score. Woodland Hills gaining control of this game and late in the first half, and then they were able to carry it over even with some shaky moments. But as we talk about those South Hills teams briefly in terms of Upper St. Clair and Camden Mac, we also look to the Post-Gazette rankings as another South Hills team sits atop the 5A rankings right now, and I'll tell you what, they are putting a beating on 6A Mount Lebanon. Last time I checked, it was 35-0 Peters Township. Just a very, very well-coached team, and they got a lot of athletes over there. Penn Hill sitting in that 2 spot in the rankings. Pine Richland jumping up to number 3 after that big win over Central Catholic, and why not? The Gateway Gators are number 4 in the 5A rankings, and our Woodland Hills Wolverines sitting at number 5 and looking to get their 5th win in a row tonight. So Cam Walter opens up in the pistol. Give to Zykeer Moore. He takes it off the right side, makes a cut right around the first down marker is where he's brought down. Nice run by Ziggy Moore.
He lowered his shoulder and just punished the defensive back there, number 11, but able to stay with Zykeer and get him out of bounds. It's Melicky.
Nice block on the edge there by Andre Smith. As we always talk about, yeah, you can see on the nice replay there, ran right into Melicky and did more and take him down, but Andre Smith, actually, was short of a first down, 2nd and 1, but like Kier Moore and Andre Smith, both two very versatile players, able to go both ways, and they do it so well. Walter takes a snap on 2nd and 1. He's going to look deep. He's going to try and break away, but unfortunately, he is sacked by Mason Miles in the backfield. It's surprising to see that, and, offensive line has done a nice job on run blocking, but they haven't had many opportunities to pass block tonight. And when they have, it's kind of been a 50-50 split as to whether or not they've been able to hold back the Foxes. But it's been tough for the offensive line because pretty much the Foxes, every time the Wolverines pass, are coming on a blitz. So it's hard for that offensive line to hold up, especially when there's not an extra blocker in terms of a tight end out there to help. So 3rd down for Woodland Hills. Power pistol formation. They're just going to give it to Zykeer Moore. He's going to get up the middle for a first down run. Wow. In the snap of a finger, it's like he has 5 yards after the ball is given to him with a handoff from Walter, and just able to get up on a powerful run, move the chains.
That just looked like such an innocent play. Handoff, and then at the end of it all, you realize he's gotten the first down with a big gain, but just seems very effortlessly a lot of times for Moore.
That's a great job by the offensive line there to open up that hole right up the middle. Give goes to Moore off the right side. Again, a nice run. Up over the first down marker. Close to the 25-yard line, depending on the spot. Should give him some forward progress there, but definitely a first down run by Ziggy Moore. It's got to be well over 100 yards by this point.
Have we seen Brandon Jones back in the game yet?
That is a good point. I don't think we have.
I don't think so either.
Hopefully it's just out of precaution. You saw him limping early in the game, and you don't want to lose a guy like that, so integral to your team on both sides of the ball. So most likely it's just out of precaution. We certainly hope that's it. Power pistol formation. Give goes to Moore again. Running up the middle. Not much doing there. Actually, sorry, that's not Zykeer Moore. I believe that's Elijah Nesby now getting the carry for the Wolverines.
And it was Nesby.
That offensive line, led by seniors Pierce Cannon and Antonio Nash. That's starting tackles for Woodland Hills. The interior part of that line, Nasir Neal and Jaden Estes, Marcus Williams, also getting in at center. More often than not, Don Wilson. Scoop Smith breaking a tackle, still not able to be brought down. Finally, they converge. As it looked like they were trying, Fox Chapel, out of frustration, attempted to try and pick up Scoop to throw him down after the whistle. That was Owen Zarenby. And I think Coach Terrence thinking, what's going on? I mean, you call how many personal fouls on the Wolverines, and it looked like well after the whistle they're trying to throw down Scoop, and he was unsuccessful at it because of how strong Scoop is, but nonetheless, they still got to throw a flag in that situation, I would think.
Watch this, yeah. They never actually do bring him down.
No, yeah.
Even after all that confusion over there by the Woodland Hills sideline.
Yeah, breaks multiple tackles.
He's up,
Look,
he's
still,
up,
still,
he's
still.
up, he's up.
Yeah, yeah.
He's up.
And what did it for me was that extra left arm around scoop to try and pick him up. Ziggy Moore gets the carry there for Woodland Hills and taking it inside the 10-yard line.
Really like the way the Wolverines are still playing hard, running hard. Even with a big lead here, they're not giving away anything. That's the attitude you want. That's a great way to play, even though you're up by 35-7.
Definitely like to see that as well. That's the attitude of champions right there. You play hard until it says zeros on the board, and that's what Woodland Hills is doing right now. In the pistol formation, Walter, the pitch out to Ziggy Moore, and he's unable to bring it in, but he does jump on it, luckily. Looked like he was looking at the hole before he got the ball. But like we said, luckily he's able to jump back on it, so Wolverines retain possession. But it makes a big third down here. Under 6 minutes.
Of course, like to see him get into the end zone, but this may be, let's put Miraz out there and put his leg to work with a big lead.
5.5 minutes remaining in this one. Walter, back to pass as he takes the snap. He looks out to Scoop there. Scoop makes the catch, and depending on the spot, it should be a first down. I think he caught that ball beyond the line to gain.
Very close.
Looks like they may mark him short. It's hard to tell from where he was standing if that's going to be a first down. No, I think they are. I think they may say first down. Yes, indeed. The chains leave, and that's a first and goal. What a nice pass by Cam Walter. He had to make that a long throw there, and Scoop Smith did a nice job to track it down and bring it in. Elijah Nesby gets the carry. Ooh, runs into his own man. That's Pierce Cannon who he runs into, but still a positive gain for Nesby. Down to about the 2-yard line.
Let's try to get another number into the end zone.
Looked like Nesby cut inside, and if he would have just stayed towards the outside, he'd had a wide open lane, but tried to make that last second cut, and that's when he kind of just collided with Woodland Hills starting right tackle Pierce Cannon.
Yeah, it looked like that to me also, Aaron.
Shotgun formation. Zykeer Moore, the sidecar, to Walter's left. Takes the carry. Up and into the end zone for 6. Zykeer Moore takes it in for a 41-7 lead now for Woodland Hills, with 4:25 remaining in this one.
And now we may see both coaches go to their benches and give some of the guys who give so much of their time and effort in practices during the week a chance to get out onto the big stage here at the Wolverina.
So Jacob Miraz will attempt the extra point to try and make it 42-7 Woodland Hills. Up and good, 42-7 now. Woodland Hills on top of the Foxes here on this crisp fall night, mid-October, as Woodland Hills will jump out to 3-0 in conference as they have their 2 biggest conference games up ahead. Next week, right here in Turtle Creek, Woodland Hills Football Network will have the coverage for you as our Wolverines get set to take on the Pine Richland Rams. As we take a second look at that nice carry by Zykeer Moore, and no surprise, it's Zykeer Moore's 3rd game in a row with 3 touchdowns. Lots of 3s for Ziggy Moore. 3 touchdowns against Shaler, 3 against Highlands, and now 3 against the Foxes. And boy, wouldn't we love it if he gets 3 more against Pine Richland.
Yes, we would. And he definitely earns them. He carries the load for a good portion of getting down to the...
Such a tough runner as Zykeer Moore. Again, next week, be here with the Woodland Hills Football Network on the 20th of October as those tough Pine Richland Rams will come in to face our Wolverines in a crucial conference matchup. Both teams will come into that game off of a victory, as it looks like Pine Richland has jumped out to a pretty big lead on the Shaler Titans. But as we know, it's so difficult to make the playoffs in 5A, but if the Wolverines are able to get a win in that Pine Richland game, they would guarantee themselves a spot. But right now, Jacob Mraz set to kick it away here as we're approaching 4 minutes left in this game. Nice kick by Mraz all the way back to the 5 as Burgess brings it in. Avoiding a few tacklers, but still brought down at about the 27-yard line by the Wolverines. And getting back to that Pine Richland game, Woodland Hills would be able to clinch themselves a spot if they could just get a big win over the Rams, but it's not going to be easy. That Pine Richland team has a very strong offensive and defensive line. Sometimes those linemen go both ways, but it's only when Coach John Ladon wants them to, because they can play to their strengths, especially with a D1 recruit and Ryan Corey on that line. But they love to give that ball to Ethan Pillar, as they showcased last week against that vaunted Vikings defense. Give goes to Hendren. Tries to string it out. Wolverines do a nice job of pursuing. Hendren still is able to scamper forward for a few out of bounds. But the clock will remain running as we have reached the mercy rule here in Turtle Creek.
I don't think you can compare scores of Pine Richland beating Central Catholic and Woodland Hills losing big to Central Catholic. That was week 0, and you know, just so much needs to be done to prepare for week 0. You just don't have enough time.
Right, yeah, that's especially with the first-year head coach and Coach Brian Tarrant and the new staff. He did not have much time with his team before that game, but they still, you know, the score did not indicate how that game went against the Vikings.
Yeah, I was getting to that as well, because
Hamilton's brought down for a short game for the Foxes.
Without those 2 long passes, it might have been a different story or a closer game. So I wouldn't let that score in week 0 fool anyone.
No, and we know that Coach Tarrant will have his men ready for that one. As I said, it's going to be big in terms of playoff implications. And we know Woodland Hills will come out ready for the Rams next week. But right now, a 3rd and 2 yards for the Foxes as we approach 2 minutes remaining in this game. Johnson rolling out to his right. He's going to throw it up deep there. Going to go over the head of the Foxes' intended receiver there, number 42, Troy Susnick.
Yeah, just a few yards out of the reach of the wide receiver, Susnick.
Upper St. Clair taking a 7-point lead on Canada Mac late in the 4th quarter, 24-17. As there was a flag for an ineligible man downfield for the Foxes, but Coach Tarrant declines that penalty as we have 2 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter, and the Penn Trafford Warriors get a nice conference victory over the Plum Mustangs, 21-6 in that one. And Moon on top of Bethel Park, 28-20, but they're holding on to that lead. Bethel Park, at least at one point, was down by about 20 points, I think, in that game, and it's like the Blackhawks are trying to fire back. So 4th down, the Foxes will go for it here as we about a minute and a half left, and they try to give it to Hamilton. And the Wolverines answer the call there as they try to give it to their big man to get up for a few yards, but that's a big loss. Nice job by the Wolverine defense to put an exclamation point on the end of this game.
A whole heap of players there getting out of that pile and moving to each of the sidelines.
So nice job by the defense there. As we were talking about before, you play the entire game hard and aggressive. That's how you win championships, and that's the message that I believe Coach Tarrant and his staff is sending to these players. As we get closer and closer to those 5A playoffs, and Woodland Hills is a win away from doing that if they could get that win next week against Pine Richland.
Should be big crowds on both sides of the field for that game. Pine Richland travels well, and Woodland Hills, knowing that it is Pine Richland, I'm sure their sideline will be that it'll more than likely be a 2-concession stand night with Pine Richland.
But of course, if you don't want to travel to the Wolf Arena for the game, you can watch it from the comfort of your home on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Of course, our network led by director and executive producer, Mr. Larry George. Camera operators, Jason Rickey, Joe Slick, and Cam Akins as well. Jeff Dotson, our replay man up in the Crow's Nest with Larry George, and Jim down here with me, making the call, and we'll be here having all that coverage of that big game against the Rams next week. You know, people may look at that 4-3 record from Pine Richland and think, oh, well, we should be able to get that win. Well, Pine Richland, they are a tough team. As we said, they beat one of the top teams in the state in Central Catholic, a 6A powerhouse. Their only losses coming to, you know, a tough Pickerington North team out of Ohio in week 0 at the beginning of the year, and a very good Penn Hills team as well that they lost to. So, and North Allegheny, again, another very tough 6A team. So you can't say anything about Pine Richland losing 3 games, because if you're going to lose 3, those are the games to lose, because those are powerful teams.
Cam takes a knee, Eric, and they'll shake hands, and Woodland Hills will pick up another conference win with a 42-7 win over the Fox Chapel Foxes, who played well in that first half. You got to give it to the Foxes, but just a little undermanned to carry that energy through into the second half.
Yeah, Fox Chapel was able to hang around. You know, they played a tough game in that first half. As you mentioned, Woodland Hills, of course, went to that 21-7 lead, carried that lead into the locker room. But then really in the second half, Woodland Hills just dominated for the most part, outside of a couple plays for the Foxes that were successful and some penalties that went against the Wolverines. They did a nice job, did Woodland Hills, of gaining control of the game and not letting their emotions get the better of them, and running out to get that mercy rule and get the 42-7 win and have their 5th win in a row. First time since 2016. Nice to see Coach Tarrant and offensive coordinator Cam Sadler and Chris Edmonds getting this big win for Woodland Hills as they move to 6-2 overall, with a couple big ones looming. Again, 3 touchdowns tonight for Zykeer Moore. 3 games in a row with 3 touchdowns. A couple touchdown grabs for Scoop Smith, and that big one at the end of the half by Simeon McCoy really was a deflating touchdown for the Foxes, as Woodland Hills was able to take that 2-possession lead into the locker room.
Because the play was well covered. No doubt was all. Simeon Moore went up between 3 defenders with a vertical jump. McCoy, yeah. Simeon McCoy. I see what you were doing there.
Well, you did say Simeon Moore, so
know.
mixing Zykeer Moore and Simeon McCoy there. Easy to do. But
Simeon McCoy.
yes, on the touchdown grab for the Wolverines. And Coach Tarrant talking to his players at the conclusion of this one now. And as we said, it was a bit of a slow start, but the Wolverines collected themselves well after a couple touchdown runs by Zykeer Moore and a big pass by Cam Walter to Simeon McCoy. And then the second half, again, a couple big passes by Cam Walter to Scoop Smith. Just some beautiful throws by Walter, and some nice couple grabs by Scoop Smith there, and that nice punt return too, which you can't help but have to mention there at the end of the first half. That was just a big return by Scoop. So the fact that Fox Chapel decided to punt it to him, he was able to make just like a nice return along the right side and almost take it in for a touchdown, but he took it all the way down to the 12. And Wolverines were guilty of a hold, which pushed them back, but still Cam Walter was able to find Simeon McCoy in the end zone for 6. And the Wolverines get the big 42-7 victory tonight as they go into next week 6-2 overall and a 3-0 record in conference. And as we said, so difficult to make the playoffs in 5A, but that next week game, if Woodland Hills is able to pull off a victory over the Rams, they would guarantee themselves a spot in the 5A WPIAL playoffs.
It will be a tough task, but playing in front of the home folks, let's hope that Woodland Hills can be victorious next week. Pine Richland, always a threat. Give good grades for all areas of the game tonight, Eric. You got the defense, the offense, the special teams, the place kicking. It all went quite well once it all came to fruition in the third quarter.
Wolverines over with the band, doing their new tradition of celebrating with the band at the end of the game when they get a win. A nice victory tonight for Woodland Hills as we get ready for next week's game against Pine Richland. But and we're going to try and get that final performance by the large band. Again, it's annual band night, so over 200 students, over 100 students from grades 5 to 8, and then those extra 100 students part of the high school marching band all joined together to do a song. We're going to try to get that for you, but we are going to sign off. with the Woodland Hills Football Network here, and we will see you next week for that big game against Pie Richland. And if you're not here with us on the broadcast, I hope you're at the Wolverine in Turtle Creek, because the Wolverines will need all their fans ready for that huge conference game as they take on the Rams from Gibsonia. But it'll be here in Turtle Creek. And thank you for joining us tonight. Woodland Hills again victorious over the Foxes, 42-7.